The audience in Beiming World had black lines on their faces. As expected of Uzumaki Black Ming, everything he said was so high-sounding. They once wondered why Uchiha Obito stopped struggling before he died and made Uzumaki's identity public. But things have come to such a point, not only will it not have any effect, but it will irritate Himing. The most unlucky one was Shimura Danzo. Uzumaki used him for so long, but in the end Danzo didn't even deserve the right to leave a whole body. Uchiha Sasuke was also ruthless enough to cut off the opponent's head and bring it back. Tsunade. I laughed so hard, Uncle Danzo's round head rolled to the ground. Jiraiya. Ming asked Sasuke to bring back Danzo's head, which not only satisfied Sasuke's desire for revenge, but also gave Nagato a happy heart. Sarutobi Hiruzen. Really? Didn't think my old Danzo buddy's head was so valuable. Shimura Danzo. Despicable and shameless, in terms of means, Ming is the blackest one. Why should I let Danzo resist all the infamy? Senju Tobirama. Shimura Danzo. You judge, he used me all the way to start a big war, and finally he threw the responsibility on me and the daimyo, and then used this to coerce other ninja villages to kill all the daimyos who belong to them and bring them to him to keep them safe. Who is the wicked person? Nagato. Conan. Orochimaru. Why don't you say that Naruto-kun deliberately leaked his thoughts at the same time, and let their surviving ninjas voluntarily surrender? Uchiha Madara. This is indeed a good method. Uzumaki doesn't have to take the initiative to recover ninja villages one by one, and let them take the initiative to take refuge in himself. Hoshigaki Kisame. Those who take the initiative to take refuge in him will enjoy his protection. What about those who do not take the initiative to take refuge in him? Deidara. Then feed them the tailed beast bomb. See art, it's such a hassle. This the audience in Beiming World has become a little numb. Himing threatened all the ninjas, and then asked them to surrender to him obediently. Not only did he not have to do anything himself, but he also selected the ninja villages that could be left behind. It is indeed a good plan that saves a lot of time and effort. Namikaze Minato. If my guess is correct, the purpose of the child's shooting of the battlefield is also for this purpose, to publish it around the world, and then announce the voluntary surrender of other regions. Uzumaki Kushina. Where you don't surrender, the only ending is to be wiped out. That kid is really smart. It would be very troublesome if you conquer the huge ninja world one by one. Shimura Danzo. Bah. Can this be called clever? This is called a cunning villain. Uzumaki Naruto uses the scroll left by Obito to release the three tails. Before three tails could react, a yin-yang escape black stick was inserted on his body to control chakra and his actions. The next second, another white smoke rose from Uzumaki Naruto's shoulder. The petite nine tails appeared on Naruto's shoulder at the same time. Nine tails. This scene stunned all the ninjas. They have never seen such a petite-tailed beast. However, Grandma Chio and Gaara turned pale with shock. The tailed beast is isolated. Why can Uzumaki Naruto survive? Unfortunately, there is no time for them to ponder such profound questions. Soon, Gaara was also stuck with a black stick of yin and yang escape. The moment Gaara was shot by the black rod, Gaara's mind began to buzz. The whole body collapsed to the ground involuntarily. Is this what it feels like to be stabbed by a black stick? Chakra. Power. Can't be used at all. Everything's ready. As Uzumaki Naruto sealed again, Geto statue opened his mouth suddenly, and shot out several chains to connect with Chakra's black stick. Boom. Then, all the Jinchuriki who were lying on the ground burst into strong chakra. Under the surprised gazes of the crowd, all the Jinchuriki went berserk in an instant, forcibly entering the full-body-tailed animal form. However, Geto statue's chains also changed at the same time, tightly wrapping around the tailed beast's neck. By the way, it started dragging towards the big mouth of the golem. Smelly fox. Are you just watching here? Don't forget, we tail beasts are together. Shozuru, who is uncomfortable being dragged, goes to the nine tails hole on Naruto's shoulder in dissatisfaction when he passes by Naruto's side. You stinky and shameless fox. How could you bear to stand on the shoulders of human beings to see your compatriots die? Nine Tails snorted arrogantly. Don't be silly, stinky civet cat. I just came out to get some fresh air. By the way, let me tell you that I am an absolutely free existence now. But I hope you can understand why I can be freer than you. You can think about it in Gedo statue with such profound questions. Wait. To put it bluntly, it will naturally be the same as me, I promise. Shuhei wanted to continue cursing the free 9 tails, but unfortunately, it was dragged into Gedo statue's mouth in an instant. Followed by Erwei, 3 tails. They got into Gedo statue's mouth one by one in order. The Jinchuriki who lost the tailed beast lay quietly on the ground, no signs of life. Gara. Chio's heart twitches. The ninjas in other ninja villages are even more reluctant to see the corpses of their companions lying in front of them. They turned their attention to other places. Perhaps before this, they were still chatting and laughing, but who would have thought that there is a separation between heaven and man now? Tail Beast recovery plan completed. As Naruto's voice fell to the ground, Gedo statue disappeared into white smoke. Next, you are the only one left. Nagato. The Fourth Ninja World War ended almost instantly with Uzumaki Kuroning's overwhelming strength. Although it seems a bit outrageous, it makes people feel incredible. However, this is the most typical portrayal of the ninja world. Strength means everything. But the most surprising thing is the follow-up work on the war. In addition to Uzumaki's self-approved surrender and asylum, there are also 9 tails behaviors that seem to show off. All of them are warning and beating other ninjas and tailed beasts. As long as you obediently obey Uzumaki Black Ming's words, not only can you not die, but you can also be free. But like those who want to be heroes, they end up lying quietly on the ground as corpses. After tidying up everything, Uzumaki Naruto didn't care about other people's eyes and thoughts. He walks straight towards Nagato. Naruto. Naruto. Konan saw Naruto approaching, and hurried forward to greet her. Because of the panic in her heart, the smile on her delicate face seemed quite stiff. Nagato. Nagato was confused at the time. It's also my fault that I didn't understand the look in your eyes after you left. It's not his fault that I didn't persuade him well. You see that he didn't really attack you in this battle, can you? HMPH. It's a bunch of nonsense. Naruto didn't speak, but it seemed that the right to speak was given to Nine Tails. Nine Tails said coldly, I have lived with Naruto for 16 years, and I have never seen him be so polite to anyone. When you gave Nagato the chance to choose, did you think it was his strength? He is just stained with the light of the blood of the Uzumaki family in his body, a lifeless thing, really regards himself as a character? Don't say that Nagato didn't do harm to Naruto in this big battle. That's not because he has a good heart, it's because Uzumaki Naruto is strong enough. Nine Tails scolded, feeling extremely refreshed. Now, it can not only freely enter and exit Uzumaki Naruto's body, but also with the rise of Naruto's status in the ninja world. Nine Tails has become an existence under one person and above 10,000 people. Only by you guys, do you really think you can successfully get Naruto? Joke. Stupid. Facing Nine Tails' reprimand, Konan and Nagato were immediately speechless. Although Nine Tails' attitude is very arrogant, everything it says makes sense. It's not that Uzumaki Naruto didn't give Nagato a chance, but that he was chilled by the other party. I know, I am a sinner. Nagato raised his head slightly, mustered up the courage to look at the whirlpool Naruto squarely. The end of all this is my own fault. You are right, you must have a certain level of awareness when you take action in the face of ideals. My pain is no different from other people's pain in the end. Naruto. Deidara. Nani, isn't it special that the leader admits his pain? Hidan. Impossible. This must be false, pain is not above others, that person is not my leader. Nagato. Konan. Hey. You guys just shut up, your own beliefs have long since collapsed, and you're still laughing at Nagato. Kakuzu. HMPH. Hidan probably forgot the fear of jumping back and forth between life and death. Nagato let out a long breath. There is actually a smile on his face. As if he had let go of a lot of things, he said in an extremely peaceful tone. I am very happy, at least before I die, I can see the light of hope in this world. Uzumaki Naruto. You are the real god who can change the world. Hearing Nagato mention death, Konan's eyes trembled in shock. Nagato is her last companion. Nagato, things haven't arrived yet. Konan. There's no need to talk anymore, I've made up my mind. Nagato interrupted Konan's conversation, his eyes revealing innocence. Naruto, I wasted your heart. There is nothing else to say now, but you want to bring peace to the world by unifying the ninja world. I have already understood. Naruto, I know that with your means, you are teaching these ninjas a heavy lesson. They feel fear and pain, so they will naturally surrender to you. In this case, although you don't need me to help you, this is my heart, and I hope to make up for the harm caused to you as a compatriot of the same race. Nagato has seen Uzumaki Naruto's tricks and Danzo's head, and he has untied a lot of knots. Without thinking about it, Nagato raised his arms and started to make mudras. 6th generation, be careful. Seeing Nagato's seal, Might Guy, Kakashi and Yurihong hurriedly blocked Naruto. Orochimaru even put his fingers together, waiting for the first time to make a move. However, they were all pushed away by Uzumaki Naruto. Rinne Tensai? Naruto looks at Nagato. Nagato smiled slightly. Yes, Naruto. As a person who also owns Rinnegan, you must know this spell. After all, your Rinnegan is much better than me. Uzumaki Naruto's performance on the battlefield has already deeply impressed Nagato, and the summoning Gedo statue sealed the 8-tailed beasts in one breath. This kind of miraculous operation, Nagato thinks he can't do it. He and Uzumaki Naruto, the difference between heaven and earth, cloud and mud. No wonder the other party would say that it was because he couldn't control Rinnegan's power well that he was sucked by Gedo statue. Although I don't know your specific thoughts, I think the resurrection of these people will definitely be useful to you. Naruto, I'm sorry, the only thing I can do is these. I hope you can see Conan's innocence and don't make things difficult for her too much. And with Conan's help, Rain Shinobi Village is yours. I believe that under your leadership in Rain Shinobi Village, the happiness of the villagers in the future will definitely be stronger than during the period of time with me. Uzumaki Naruto watched Nagato's red hair gradually graying in silence. His own meaning is to give these ninjas a huge sense of fear, so as to achieve the purpose of making them bow down. The same purpose is to let the director of the crew to record the scene and spread it widely. The group of people who were resurrected on the battlefield have experienced life and death and seen the ninja feared by Uzumaki Naruto. Their sense of surrender to Naruto must be deeper than others. Nagato understood correctly. Uzumaki Naruto originally planned to give Rinne Tensai to everyone after settling the matter between the two of them. Now it seems that Ping is unnecessary. Is Rain Shinobi Village going to be Uzumaki's private property? From Nagato's dying words, the audience got very important information. As long as Konan doesn't get sick and fight against Uzumaki, with her identity, Rain Shinobi Village is indeed completely controlled by Hiyomaki. The audience didn't know how to evaluate this scene for a while. Before Uzumaki Hymen could act, Nagato began to carry out the dying care on his own. Send the village directly. Shimura Danzo. Nagato is so worthless, it's giving away the village. Tsunade. Nagato is not a fool, but I feel that Nagato is a bit morally kidnapped. I saw that I couldn't beat him, so I quickly committed suicide. By the way, I forcibly sold it to a black man. Fang, Jiraiya. Rain Shinobi Village is in the hands of Haimaru, and other villages dare not go to Rain Shinobi Village to do anything. After all, it is Haimaru's village. If you hit Rain Shinobi Village, you will slap Haimaru in the face. Orochimaru. Jiraiya, don't make trouble, soon the whole world will belong to Naruto-kun. Uzumaki Kushina. That's right, when the time comes, the war between the villages will be one's own people fighting against one's own people? See, Nagato's life force keeps passing. Conan's eyes filled with sadness kept trembling. Conan. Nagato said weakly, you don't need to be sad, and you don't need to ask Naruto to resurrect me. I can go to Yahiko now and tell him that there is a real savior in our world. His name is Uzumaki Naruto, and he is a member of our Uzumaki clan. Nagato with gray hair hangs his head. At this time, under everyone's amazed eyes, the number of ninjas on the battlefield increased sharply. Even the dead Jinchuriki were all revived. Only 8 tails in Erway in Cloud Shinobi Village still have no signs of life. Is it because they took the initiative to attack the 6th generation project? Might Guy said softly. He found that most of the ninjas came back from the dead, but when they saw Uzumaki Naruto, they all collapsed in fright. I have long since lost the will to be a ninja. Kakashi, me. Nohara Lin's words made Kakashi startled, turned his head to look, and Nohara Lin was looking at his hands in surprise. Judging from her body and breath, she was also resurrected. Unfortunately, Uzumaki Naruto didn't look at the revived people at all. Looking at the lifeless Nagato, Naruto sighed. Konan. Follow Nagato-senpai's wish. In order to prevent anyone from thinking about Senior's Rinnegan, let's cremate Senior and let him take everything in his body and leave this land that makes him sad. Uchiha Madara. Uzumaki Black Ming actually wants to cremate Nagato. The opponent has an unparalleled Rinnegan on him. What a waste. What a waste. The audience was immediately numb. Through the screen, they can see that Orochimaru in the Koronaru world twisted his distressed facial expression when he heard that Koronaru was going to cremate Nagato. However, Hymen's behavior was a very correct choice for him personally. He who owns Rinnegan himself naturally knows how terrifying the power of Rinnegan is. This kind of existence only needs to be owned by himself. Shimura Danzo. Cut. Hypocrisy, worried about others taking advantage of Rinnegan's power over him. Jiraiya. Even if the opponent has Rinnegan, it is impossible to be the opponent of Black Naruto. Black Naruto also has the power of yin and yang bestowed by Sage of Six Paths, chakra from other tailed beasts, and the existence of the whole 9 tails. Tsunade. Yes, and Uchiha Madara's Rinnegan's pupil technique doesn't have very special power. Even if it is used by others, it is still as different as Nagato when compared with Black Ming. Terumi Mei. After all, no one wants to leave troubles for themselves by doing nothing. There is nothing wrong with Hymen's handling method. Senju Hashirama. Hey. It's a pity, even if Black Zetsu finds a way to revive Madara, the Madara who comes out as blind. The ninjas are all resurrected. Let's deal with Otsutsuki together, at least there are more in the main garden. Uchiha Madara. He. Hashirama, stop joking, resurrect you. I don't know how many nagging you will face after resurrecting you. You must oppose Hymen's behavior. Reviving you is just asking for trouble, besides the real battle is not in numbers, but in the level of power between the two sides. There is nothing wrong with what Uchiha Madara said. Bai Ming's world and Hei Ming's world. The Fourth Ninja World War is aimed at individual or several people in the form of ninja coalition forces. The scene effect is obvious. Ninjas who are not at the same level, waiting for their ending can only be killed in seconds. As for Nagato's cremation, Uzumaki Naruto acted swiftly. Konan couldn't bear it, but she didn't have any good solution. The current Konan can only follow Nagato's arrangement before his death and surrender to Uzumaki Naruto, so as to bring a bright future to Rain Shinobi Village. It's a pity that Yahiko's body cannot be cremated with Nagato. Konan's mood is still stable, quietly watching the burning flames in front of him. Huh. Naruto froze for a moment. Konan quickly shook his head. It's okay. I just sigh. Yahiko's body, as the puppet tool of Tiandao Pain, was beaten to pieces long ago when facing the Buddha on the top. Now, there is not even scum left. Look at Naruto's completely ignorant look, there's no need for Konan to bring this up again. On the battlefield, the resurrected people cried and hugged each other. Luckily, they survived the catastrophe, but they did not completely let go of the fear in their hearts. Uzumaki Naruto, who is cremating Nagato, did not speak, and none of them dared to act casually. I'm afraid that I will bring disaster to myself or the village. Naruto. Fortunately, Gaara, who is a neighbor of Uzumaki Naruto, is still calm. He looked at Naruto's back and asked in a low voice, when Nagato's cremation is over, should I follow you back to Konoha village, or Sanagakure? Audience. Is Gaara completely conquered by Uzumaki? To actually ask such a question. Grandma Chio. Gaara seems to have integrated into the life of Konoha village. Tamari. This. Can't blame Gaara, he can't just go back to Sanagakure without saying anything. Konkuro. That's right, if Hymen catches him and cuts him off again, who can bear it? Sand. Luo Fourth Rakage. What the F***K, you're all comfortable in the end, bad luck for us Cloud Shinobi village. Onoki. Who told you that you have a history of kidnapping Kushina, and you like to snatch other people's ninjutsu? If you don't die, who will die? Orochimaru. No, the most important thing is that Fourth Rakage is very brave, he dared to resist. Fourth Rakage. Orochimaru. Of course, even if you don't resist, even if you follow others and get killed by Nagato Rinne Tensai, you may be killed again by Naruto-kun. Fourth Raikage. Onoki, don't laugh at me, you still don't know about this matter now. Who knows if you, a little old man, will get sick, and Iwagakure will be destroyed by then. Go back to Sanagakure, Gaara. Uzumaki Naruto packed everything and patted Gaara on the shoulder. I have wronged you 3 siblings during this time. Uzumaki Naruto smiled. Gaara immediately added, no, you didn't do anything to us, and our standard of living is good. So be it. Uzumaki Naruto stretches. This simple action made all the ninjas of the Ninja Alliance break out in a cold sweat. I'm afraid that the other party will use terrifying ninjutsu to wipe them all out in the next second. However, what I just said was not a joke with you. Suddenly, Uzumaki Naruto's face changed suddenly. This move scared some timid ninjas to squat on the ground with their heads in their hands. Deidara, Scorpion. Kakuzu, Hidan. The 4 of you are going to the Daiming Mansion in the Land of Fire now. Declare the abdication of the Fire Country Daimyo, and you can leave the Daimyo Mansion. And you can't take any item from Daiming Mansion. Naruto just finished speaking. Kakuzu's eyes suddenly lit up, slightly excited. Master Naruto, the treasure house of the Land of Fire. Uzumaki Naruto glanced at Kakuzu suspiciously. Idiot, shouldn't the treasure house belong to the victor? Could it be that the 4 of you teamed up and can't even solve the people in Daiming Mansion? Understood, I understand. Kakuzu hurriedly apologized with a smile. Master Naruto, don't worry, I will guard the treasure house absolutely safe. Cut. Miser. Hidan glared at Kakuzu contemptuously, and said casually, if you want to be a financial manager, do you work so hard? After speaking, Hidan regretted it, quickly shrank behind Kakuzu, and kept looking at Uzumaki Naruto from the corner of his eyes. Fortunately, Uzumaki Naruto is in a very good mood today, and he didn't pay attention to Hidan's fuss. This. Everyone on the battlefield changed their expressions suddenly after hearing the words. The Uzumaki Naruto in front of me actually does what he says. He is really going to attack Daimyo of the Fire Nation. Old woman. Before leaving, the sand-pressing Scorpion turned to look at his grandma. I hope you can be more sensible, and don't affect my reputation on the leader's side just because of your wrong choice. The words of the red sand scorpion made Chiyo look bewildered. I just wanted to ask what the other person meant, but unfortunately the red sand scorpion had already sat on Deidara's sticky 10 bird and flew away. What does the scorpion mean? Chiyo is at a loss. Seeing this, Gaara shook his head and said, the current system of Konoha village is different from other ninja villages. Their ninjas will judge their work performance based on their personal behavior and the impact of their contributions to Konoha village. During this process, they will get financial rewards based on their performance evaluation. If it reaches a certain level, Naruto can satisfy their desire to see deceased relatives and friends. What? Gaara's words immediately stunned Chiyo. That means. Yes, as expected, Shie is working hard for his parents, Gaara said calmly. Boom. At this moment, Chiyo's mind exploded like a thunderbolt. The son and daughter-in-law whom I miss day and night. No wonder people as proud as my grandson follow Naruto's ass so hard. Not only is the opponent powerful, but more importantly, Uzumaki Naruto will satisfy their imaginations. Gaara, Chiyo seems to be aware of a more serious problem. The eyes that looked at Gaara became trembling. Why? I admit that I have my own ideas in my heart, but Naruto is a person who walks the talk. He said to give us 3 days to solve the daimyo, and then we can get his asylum. If we fail to give him an explanation after 3 days, Sanagakure will inevitably usher in a catastrophe. All we can protect is a joke, and... Gaara glanced at the shivering Sanagakure ninja behind him. Being protected by Naruto is different from being his villagers. If we become his villagers, we can not only be sheltered, but also enjoy the same treatment as Konoha village. After all, Gaara looks up at Chiyo. Although he didn't say it clearly, how could Chiyo, who is the oldest Sanagakure, understand the meaning of Gaara's words? The so-called asylum is nothing more than attaching Sanagakure to Konoha, and the status of the two is very different in the eyes of Uzumaki Naruto. However, if you become his villager, Sanagakure's ninja status will be equal to that of Konoha shinobi in an instant. These 2 different choices will completely change the future of Sanagakure. So, Gaara. In my opinion, I have decided to surrender to Uzumaki Naruto, and everything will follow his arrangement. Gaara didn't hide anything, and made a decision immediately. It's just that Uzumaki Naruto doesn't know about all of this. After issuing the order against the Daming Mansion of the Nation of Fire, Naruto left the battlefield with everyone. As for what these ninjas think and do, Uzumaki Naruto has no interest at all. The right to choose is in their hands, whether it is good or bad, it is also their own choice. Betrayed? Gaara's choice to look directly at the viewer puts on a mask of pain. No wonder Uzumaki was so generous in letting Gaara back to Sanagakure. Today's Gaara, there is still a little bit of the appearance of being a fifth Kazekage. Needless to say, Gaara has already started to instigate Chiyo, and handed over Sanagakure to Kuromaki. Terumi Mei. I just hope that I can live a more transparent life like Gaara in the Hyumin world, and don't try to be a hero. Why? Fourth Raikage. I don't think you will, but not necessarily Onoki. Onoki. I'm just old, not stupid. How can I be sick if I report back the situation on the battlefield, plus the live broadcast of the scene shot by Hyumin to the whole ninja world? Jiraiya. In any case, it's all over, and it's only a matter of time before the 5 great ninja villages in the Fire Country daimyo are resolved, and Koronaru wants to integrate the ninja world. Tsunade. Gaara is a model, and Sanagakure is also one of the 5 major ninja villages. After Sanagakure started, there must be others following suit. Senju Hashirama. Hey, can this really lead to peace? Uchiha Madara. HMPH. What if there is no peace? The war between the ninja villages is just because of the distribution of resources. Hyumin unifies the ninja world, and the whole world is his. With his means, the problem of resource distribution will definitely be solved. Even if there is chaos, it is nothing more than some wandering ninjas who have become bandits and robbers, unable to turn the tide. Hitaki Kakashi. So apart from the future Otsutsuki clan, everything is over. Uchiha Obito. Really? Black Zetsu. You guys are so chatting, have you forgotten about me? Uchiha Madara. Black Zetsu. You forget it, now my Rinnegan is burned by Black Naruto, Tailed Beast and Geto statue are all in the hands of Black Naruto, no one can help you except him, unless you wait for him die of old age. Otsutsuki Hagoromo. Based on Black Naruto's current situation, his strength should be on par with mine. If he becomes the Jinchuriki of 10 tails in the future, his lifespan will be infinitely close to immortality. It will be difficult for Black Zetsu to save his mother. Black Zetsu. Don't underestimate me, since I can survive for thousands of years with a weak body. I can induce Indra. I can induce Uchiha Madara. Can't I induce Uzumaki Black Ming's future children? It is indeed a good idea. The audience in Baming World was shocked by Black Zetsu's speech. It is worthy of being a 1,000-year-old existence in the ninja world. Black Zetsu's spirit of never giving up is admirable. The battlefield of the 4th Ninja World War is now empty. On the dilapidated battlefield, a dark figure emerged from the ground. Can one move change the terrain and create a new valley? Uzumaki Naruto is stronger than ever Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara. No, even stronger than the two of them combined. However, because why not only does he have Rinnegan, but he can also use wood style. Black Zetsu searches carefully where Nagato was cremated. Unfortunately, Rinnegan has long been burned to ashes. What to do? I've been waiting for the Millennium Plan. Black Zetsu holds his head in pain. The next moment, his body trembled suddenly. Prior to this, after the end of the war, Black Zetsu has been hiding in a dark corner and observing every move of Uzumaki Naruto and others. He finally understood Uzumaki Naruto's purpose. Unify the ninja world and become the master of this world. He. Uzumaki Naruto, even if you have activated Rinnegan, if you want to truly become the master of this world, you are still almost ready. Black Zetsu suddenly chuckled. The haze just now seems to disappear without a trace at this moment. How do you resist the coming Otsutsuki from the future? Only by Rinnegan's power. He. So, you have to become stronger. Uzumaki Naruto. Nani? Black Zetsu's self-confidence surprised the audience of Baming World. All the conditions for casting Infinite Tsukuyomi are already in the hands of Kuro Ming. Is there any way for Black Zetsu to keep the plan going? And it can be guessed from Black Zetsu's words that he is not like the so-called Black Zetsu in the discussion group who waited for Hyumin to die and cheat his descendants. Black Zetsu of the Kuromaki world seems to want to confront Uzumaki Kurokatsu and solve the problem. Uchiha Madara. Black Zetsu, you. Black Zetsu. I know that I, in the world of Black Naruto, should want to use the threat theory of the Otsutsuki clan to stimulate Uzumaki Black Naruto. Senju Tobarama. If you want to dominate the ninja world, you must face the attack of Otsutsuki in the future, so Black Zetsu's plan is. Uchiha Obito. He must be trying to trick Kuro Ming into devouring 10 tails, and then turn on infinite Tsukuyomi to absorb the chakra of Ninja to strengthen his own strength to deal with Otsutsuki's attack. Black Zetsu. As expected of me, not only did I dare to face Uzumaki, but I also came up with an excellent countermeasure. Besides, he has been distressed by Otsutsuki's attack. I was right this time. Otsutsuki Kaguya. Stupid, you're so excited you forgot he's going to F*K. Otsutsuki Kaguya's sudden question made the corners of everyone's mouths twitch in embarrassment. Uzumaki Black Ming has the ability to detect people's hearts. If Black Zetsu confronts the opponent directly, the success rate of the plan is almost zero. Plus Haiming's strong perception ability, unless his mind was dazzled by the victory of the war. Otherwise, with his vigilance, it is impossible to be unaware of Black Zetsu's secret observation. The only situation is that Uzumaki Black Ming deliberately let Black Zetsu do things, wanting to see what the other party can do. Black Zetsu. Uchiha Obito. Black Zetsu, fellow sufferer, don't be discouraged. Uzumaki Naruto. What I'm curious about now is why Black Zetsu used the Otsutsuki threat theory to induce Black Naruto. Black Zetsu should know about Indra's reincarnation and Ashura's reincarnation. I remember he seems to know the process of Uchiha Madara opening Rinnegan. Uchiha Sasuke. Yo. I didn't expect you to start thinking too. You mean that Black Zetsu confronts Black Naruto? Why not follow Uchiha Madara or Black Zetsu, provoke the relationship between me and Black Naruto, and let me activate Rinnegan to use me directly? The question raised by Uzumaki Baiming surprised everyone. Bai Ming. Did you actually think about it? And it also raises very constructive questions. The audience knows everything about Uzumaki, and no one can play tricks in front of Uzumaki, who has the ability to read minds. Black Zetsu confronts Uzumaki Black Ming. It is really not as good as he bewitches and provokes Uchiha Sasuke. Ask Sasuke to transplant Hemming cells. After opening Rinnegan, you can directly skip Black Naruto and choose to use Uchiha Sasuke to discuss the infinite Tsukuyomi plan. Uchiha Madara. Actually, Rinnegan cannot be opened by combining Indra and Ashura's chakra. I opened Rinnegan at the beginning, and I waited for decades. The reason why Uzumaki Haiming was able to open Rinnegan so smoothly is that compared the developed sage body has a great relationship, and the 9 tails chakra in his body should also play a key role. Senju Tobarama. Black Zetsu bewitched Uchiha Sasuke? I don't think as wise. First of all, he couldn't figure out what Sasuke was thinking. Now Uchiha Sasuke obeyed Black Zetsu, and his parents were resurrected. Uchiha Sasuke himself has without any ambitions and desires. Black Zetsu can't control his psychology. Once the plan fails, Uchiha Sasuke will tell Uzumaki everything. Black Zetsu doesn't even have a detour, so Black Zetsu's idea of facing Kuromaki is completely meaningless. The problem, the only miscalculation is the characteristics of Haiming Rinnegan, which even 9 tails doesn't know. Hidden so deep. The audience in the world of Baiming all side with Uzumaki Haiming's castle. The most critical pupil technique ability, only he himself knows clearly. Uzumaki Baiming gave a wry smile. While feeling bitter in his heart, he was more happy for Uzumaki Haiming. That guy is really good. Through his own means, he finally gradually grasped the ninja world in his hands. Although the method is a little strong, but after the experience, people have a huge shake in their hearts. Even Gaara, who is Kazekage, wants to hand over Sanagakure to Uzumaki Kuromaki. No one can keep an eternal mind in the face of interests. Uzumaki Bai Ming smiled. He didn't have a strong sense of frustration in his heart. Because the self in the world next door, regardless of actions, character, and charm, is much stronger than myself. The most important thing is the result. Uzumaki looked up at the big screen. At the end of the war, the ninjas of Konoha village stood at the door and looked forward to it. After seeing the appearance of Hyeming, everyone jumped for joy like crazy. This scene is enough to explain everything. How important Uzumaki is to the hearts of Konoha village villagers and ninjas. After the Fourth Ninja World War ended, on the same day, the Fire Country daimyo was expelled from the daimyo mansion. Kakuzu did not let him take away any items in the treasure house, so it can be said that he left the house without leaving the house. Because Uzumaki Naruto said before that he wanted to let the daimyo experience life without money. And, under Naruto's behest, Orochimaru announced the demolition of the Fire Country daimyo mansion and the establishment of a new mansion. The Kingdom of Fire will be renamed the Country of Vortex from now on. Uzumaki Naruto is the ruler of the Vortex Country. Konoha Village still retains its original name, and changed from Konoha Village, Land of Fire, to Konoha Village, Land of Vortex. All ninja training will be fully responsible by Konoha Village. The villagers of Konoha Village can also choose to live in the main city of Uzumaki, or they can choose to stay in Konoha Village. Deidara was excited for a while, and blew up the main city of the Land of Fire to pieces. This move almost makes Kakuzu and Deidara go to war. It's really a prodigal stuff. But Deidara's meaning is clear: the relics of the old age are not worthy of the rulers of the new age. Is this the body of White Zetsu? Sure enough, White Zetsu full of wood-style cells is much more comfortable than other containers. Orochimaru came out of the underground laboratory satisfied. He didn't know where Uzumaki Naruto got him the White Zetsu. The other party just told him that these were a few caught from the battlefield. But these are not the point. In recent days, apart from excitement and happiness, the people of Konoha Village are also busy. Busy with the construction of the main city of Uzumaki, as well as receiving those ninja villages and countries who came to surrender. Those who voluntarily surrender will be managed in a unified manner and included within the geographical scope of the Vortex Country. All of this is not Orochimaru's responsibility. Hey, Orochimaru, you seem to be in a good mood. I didn't take 2 steps, because I heard a familiar voice. Looking up, it was Jiraiya who came to look for her. There is also Tsunade who pinches the waist with one hand. I didn't expect a Sannin to have a reunion one day. Do you want to have a few drinks? I treat you. Jiraiya laughed generously. He also didn't expect that the development of the matter would develop to such an outrageous place. I came back from a trip for a while, and the sky has changed. In the tavern, the 3 of them chatted about the past and sighed deeply. But the final topic cannot avoid the future development of the Vortex Country. Actually, the Great Toad Sage gave me a new reminder. Mount Myoboku means that I hope to maintain a good development with the country of the Vortex created by Naruto. And give future ninjas the conditions to practice immortality. Of course, the opponent has to be talented to be selected. After 2 glasses of wine, Jiraiya stated the purpose of her trip. HMPH. Did you make the decision because you saw Naruto-sama's strength? Orochimaru laughs. Tsunade immediately added. There is also such an idea in the Whetbone Forest. Orochimaru, so far only Ryuchi Cave has no explanation. These are not the key points. Orochimaru said indifferently. My current soul power is very weak, and I cannot withstand the pressure from Ryuchi Cave. If Master Naruto needs it, we will naturally find a way. If Ryuchi Cave is unwilling to cooperate, it will not be a big deal if one of the 3 holy places is missing. Tsunade and Jiraiya's expressions gradually changed upon hearing this. Is this still their former partner, the cold Orochimaru? In front of Uzumaki Naruto, he is definitely the first person to flatter. These are minor issues, and we still need to see what Naruto-sama means. Now, the era under the rule of the Fire Nation is over. Gaara of Sanagakure has expressed his surrender attitude since he went back and killed the daimyo of the Country of Wind. With Sanagakure taking the lead, this situation will definitely appear one after another in the future. Everything is proceeding according to Naruto-sama's wishes. But Orochimaru's face paused slightly, and he said in a serious voice, when the main city of the Country of Vortex is built, the new ruler will take over. The huge ninja world in the future needs more people to manage it. The revival of the Uzumaki clan is very important. Tsunade choked on hearing this. Huh? What's wrong with you, hand? Jiraiya looked at Tsunanen curiously. Tsunade hurriedly waved his hand. It's okay, it's okay. By the way, throw deep contempt at Orochimaru. In order to compete for favor, this guy directly gave Naruto a bad idea to get him to marry more wives? Damn Orochimaru, when did he have so many goofs? HMPH. Isn't this kind of thing easy? Let Uzumaki Naruto marry more wives and have more children. With Uzumaki Naruto's strong blood, future children will not be weak. It would be nice to assign regional management to them. It would be bad if there was a scene of power struggle. Tsunade's speech made Orochimaru frown. It stands to reason that with Tsunade's temperament, he shouldn't think about such things. Also, the so-called allocation management is just an excuse for Orochimaru to give Uzumaki Naruto a revived family. This is for outsiders to hear, but how does Tsunade know? Orochimaru gave Tsunade a blank look, and thought to himself. It seems that this guy was among the people who eavesdropped at the door that day. I see. Jiraiya understands in seconds. He touched his chin and thought for a few seconds, clapped his hands. Jiraiya stood up suddenly. It's over, you mentioned this, I suddenly remembered a very important thing. What is it? Tsunade asked curiously. I once met a female ninja in Naruto village, and the two of us agreed to betroth each other's apprentices. Minato is definitely not good, but I taught Naruto the summoning technique and guided him to Mount Myoboku. The evaluation given to Naruto by the outside world is full of this. They say that one of Naruto's masters is me. As Naruto becomes more famous, the ninjas from Naruto village will definitely come to him. Nani? Orochimaru stood up anxiously after hearing the sound. You still have this kind of experience? It's a bad thing. How could Jiraiya take the lead in this kind of behavior? No. I have to go and tell the other party first, and there must be no problems at that time. If that female ninja's apprentice looks ugly and his strength stretches his hips, wouldn't I cause a catastrophe? J. Gone. After speaking, Jiraiya suddenly turned into white smoke and disappeared. Hateful. That guy was one step ahead. Orochimaru clenched his fists angrily. For a while, his eyes suddenly flashed a gleam. He looked at Tsunade and said, Tsunade, I remember that you have the blood of the Uzumaki clan in your body. For the future safety of the ninja world, should you consider? Boom. With a loud noise, Orochimaru's head smashed the wine table into pieces. Tsunade won the power that erupted from the fist instantly frightened everyone around him to freeze in place. What happened to 5th Hokage-sama? Why is she blushing? Why did she hit Master Orochimaru so hard? Tsunade. Tsunade. Orochimaru, just be yourself. This kind of thing is not for you to meddle in. Orochimaru. What do you know? Solving problems for superiors is what we should do as subordinates. Jiraiya. Oh. The girl I'm talking about should be Nadeshi Shizuka. I remember she's not pretty. Yamanaka Ino. Yes, I remember that girl. She is really good. She is also very strong. She seems to be the future heir of Naruto village. Haruno Sakura. Beiming seems to have rejected him. Uzumaki Naruto. What, if this kind of thing is not pleasing to each other, it can't be fixed. Jiraiya. You're still too young, Naruto. Shimura Danzo. Seeing your happy faces makes me angry. Black Zetsu's actions must not be counted on. Calculated from the time when Momoji and Ichishi appeared, it will take another 16 years. The 32-year-old Uzumaki Black Ming's strength is definitely not comparable to that of Bai Ming. Shimura Danzo. Who the hell is going to cause trouble for Kuro Ming? Sarutobi Hiruzen. Danzo, are you sick? Everything is running step by step. Uzumaki Naruto, in casual clothes, walks on the streets of Konoha village with satisfaction. In the future, this will be the training base for Uzumaki ninjas. And the ninjas included in Uzumaki are not just the ninjas born in Konoha village. Uzumaki Naruto looks at Kankuro and Temari who are shopping not far away. The two siblings seem to be very satisfied with the life in Konoha village. After Gaara announced his surrender, the two siblings came to Konoha to settle down without stopping. The management of Sanagakure is still in the hands of Gaara. Currently, Gaara is discussing with Konan how to draw the rainwater from Rain Shinobi village to Sanagakure, where the sky is full of yellow sand. For the boundary of Sanagakure, the primary goal is to improve the living environment there. 5th Mizukage Terumi Mei of Kirigakure sent a letter claiming to have completed Naruto's alleged mission. The daimyo of the country of water who gave the order to conquer Konoha is on his way to Konoha. I hope Naruto will be far away and don't pay too much attention to the 3-day agreement. Onoki from Iwagakure wants to discuss further with Uzumaki Naruto, and if possible, he is also willing to do what the other party asks. As for Cloud Shinobi Village, it seems dissatisfied with Naruto's actions to kill 4th Raikage and Killer Bee and Wooden Golem on the battlefield, and there has been no news for a long time. However, Uzumaki Naruto didn't care too much about all of this. Aiming at the issue of the unification of the ninja world, it is good to leave it to the people under you. Now, he needs to find a good way to further improve his own strength. Especially the practice of physical arts. Naruto, what is your purpose of leaving that dark thing behind? Nine Tails asked curiously. I don't know, but my intuition tells me that he can surprise me. Recalling Black Zetsu who visited on the battlefield back then, Naruto said with a smile, I feel like he will come to me. However, Naruto just finished speaking. 2 extremely terrifying chakras suddenly came from the back mountain, and this feeling disappeared in an instant. Naruto. I know. Naruto frowned. I felt nervous for the first time. The strength of the 2 chakra just now is not weaker than my own. Could it be that Otsutsuki is coming? At the same time, the back mountain of Sleepy Leaf Village. A girl in a light yellow dress with the same light yellow hair and a girl with red hair in clothes similar to Konoha Village Anbu. 2 beautiful figures appear in the dense forest. Is this the country of the whirlpool in the past? Sister Ailu. The girl with light yellow hair said curiously. Her pupils look like white eyes, but there is a faint light in the white of her feet. Jien. The red-haired Ailu trembled nervously. Violet, you don't even know. How can I know? Do you think my father didn't like me, so he let me and you settle the Otsutsuki Ura style? What should I do? I killed the Fanado family that Boruto brother wanted to befriend. Do you think my father was angry with me, so he let me come instead of brother? Could it be that what happened in Himing World at this time is? The audience in Beiming World were all so shocked that they couldn't make a sound. Otsutsuki Urashiki. They remembered that the other party traveled from the future to when Bai Ming was 12 years old, and was killed by Bai Ming. Unexpectedly, in Kuromaki's world, Inskiura also traveled through time and returned to the past. It seems very unfortunate that the timeline of Pooh-style time travel in Himing World is slightly later. What's more, it's not Uzumaki Boruto and Uncle Uchiha Sasuke who chase him, but 2 girls who don't exist in the world of Beiming. However, from the conversation between the 2, especially the red-haired Ailu who is nervously grabbing her hair without any scruples, the audience of Beiming World got quite important information from her mouth. Boruto, presumably Uzumaki Boruto. The other party is the eldest brother of Ailu and Jien Jin. And Ailu mentioned the Fanado clan, and the audience was deeply impressed by the Fanado clan. A group of people living on the sea that appeared in the future world of Uzumaki Beiming. In fact, every Japanese family is similar to pirates. Their feud with Kirigakure was extremely deep, and in the course of the battle between the 2 sides, they killed the Mizukage candidate Kagura of the 7th generation. Uzumaki Boruto had a close relationship with the young master of the Fanado clan in the early stage. Later, because he wanted to resolve the hatred between the 2 parties, Boruto chose to commit suicide by jumping into the sea, hoping to be forgiven by the other party. Fortunately, the young master of the Fanado clan was moved by Boruto and rescued Boruto, and the 2 sides lived in peace. But, who would have thought that in Himing's world, the Fanado clan would be massacred to death by that girl named Ailu? All this is enough to explain the identities of the 2 girls who arrived unexpectedly. Their names should be Uzumaki Yanyan, Uzumaki Ailu. The father they mentioned is Uzumaki Naruto from the Black Naruto world. Tsunade. They are the daughters of Kuromaki? Jiraiya. Good guy, Orochimaru is still working on the plan to revive the Uzumaki clan, and Koronaru's daughter has traveled from the future. Terumi Mei. The Fanado clan. I remember they forced Chongjuro very hard. They almost succeeded in attacking Kirigakure. Fortunately, the young master finally reconciled with Uzumaki Boruto, and Kawaki killed the man who was crazy about hatred. It was the head of the Fanado clan that put an end to the war. Uchiha Sasuke. Another guy who eats inside and outside. Can he even ignore his father's death? Uchiha Itachi. Silent. Hoshigaki Kisame. However, the patriarch of the Fanado clan is also crazy. He even killed his own son for revenge. The young master naturally doesn't care about his life or death. Onoki. These are not the point is that Kuromaki's daughter Uzumaki Ailu slaughtered their clan, and it was under the circumstances that Boruto wanted to make friends with the Hinata clan. Yamanaka Ino. You have overlooked a very important thing. Uzumaki Boruto is their eldest brother, and should be the first child of Koronaru. Haruno Sakura. I guess the Boruto of the Black Naruto world should also be the son of Hinata and Naruto, the eldest son. Hyuga Hinata. That. Just hope that Boruto in the world of Kuromaki won't be as ignorant as Boruto in our world. Orochimaru. Although Boruto is Naruto-kun's eldest son, I don't think he will be like Boruto in our world. Tsunade. I see that Sumair and Hinata look very similar, and her eyes are similar to White Eyes, except that the hair color is a bit strange. I think she should also be Hinata's daughter, but the one named L, it looks a bit like Kushina. Namikaze Minato. It is true, especially when she is nervous and flustered, she looks exactly like Kushina, and she has red hair. Uzumaki Kushina. Does it belong to the hidden genetic inheritance? L is like me, but I don't know who her mother is. Yamanaka Ino. It should be Uzumaki, after all, she is the only one with red hair. Uzumaki Yanjin narrowed her eyes, looking at Uzumaki Ailu in front of her like she was looking at an idiot. The other party's nervous appearance really makes Jin speechless. Snort. Suddenly, Uzumaki brushed her hair arrogantly, and said with a little haughtiness in her tone. Third sister, you really think too much. The Hinata family is nothing more than a group of lawless pirates, clamoring every day that their family is the master of the sea, galloping across the sea. What you did was to plunder the passing ships. Even if you don't kill them, father will still send other people to wipe them out completely. As for brother Boruto. Speaking of Boruto, Jin's face changed slightly, and her tone softened a lot, but she was still full of arrogance. That idiot brother, he is the first heir to the empire, he finally came out to practice, but he wants to reason with a group of pirates. It's not a good thing to be too kind. Of course, you can rest assured, brother Boruto won't make trouble with our brothers and sisters because of the Hinata clan. Besides, the big brother who went back, I have reflected on myself for several days. Hearing Jin's determination, Ailu finally let out a sigh of relief. It seems that my father didn't let me come because he looked down on me. Crazy. Jin brushed Ailu's high ponytail a few times and said with a smile, Third sister, you are the famous third princess of the empire. Besides, you are the only red-haired Uzumaki among us. And the character looks more like Grandma Kushina. Grandma likes you so much, how can father look down on you? The only bad thing is that when you are nervous, you will naturally think wildly. Jin showed a mocking smirk, and looked at Ailu. But I heard from Grandpa that your personality is very similar to Grandma's. Naturally cute. Uzumaki Ailu heard the words, gently pushed an F***ed Jin. Don't make fun of me, your mothers are all big shots, that's why I. Oh. How can you have such a boring idea? I didn't expect you, as the third princess of the empire, to feel inferior. It really left me speechless. The two sisters were silent for a few seconds, and Ailu still couldn't help asking. Jin, are you sure Boruto is not angry? Also, how do you know that he went back and reflected on it for several days? He told me, so I must not spread the truth about him and the young master of the Fudo family. If it reaches the ears of Hinata's mother, he will be in bad luck. When Uzumaki Hinata is mentioned, the delicate bodies of the two sisters tremble slightly at the same time. Hinata can't help but see blue veins around her eyes. Afterwards, the two shook their heads at the same time, trying to shake Hinata's terrifying appearance out of their minds. I see, if Hinata's mother knew about Boruto's experience, Boruto would be miserable. Shock. At this moment, the people in Beiming world were shocked by the conversation between the two sisters and remained silent. What's the meaning? Is Uzumaki Hinata of the Black Naruto world such a terrifying existence? It can scare Uzumaki Boruto, the first heir of the empire, from letting her know his experience of going out to practice. Also, it is not difficult to see from the expressions of Jin and Ailu just now, they seem to have an inexplicable fear of Uzumaki Hinata just like Boruto. It can be seen how strict the existence of Hyuga Hinata, who became a mother, is in the future of the Black world. Not only her son, but even other people's daughters are in awe of her. Uzumaki Kushina. Sumair said that I like L very much. Could it be that in the future world, Minato and I will also be resurrected? Namikaze Minato. It should be, The child has unified the ninja world, so we don't have to worry about the resurrection of the two of us affecting him. Hyuga Hiyashi. Ha ha ha, is that really my daughter Hinata? She actually scared Tsumair and Ailu into such a state, and even scared my grandson Uzumaki Boruto, the first heir to the empire, to dare not tell her that she was going out the process of experience. Hyuga Hazashi. Brother, I feel that there is something in your words. Hyuga Hiyashi. Ahem. Hazashi, you know big brother. Tsunade. Wait a minute, isn't Tsumair Kane the daughter of Hinata and Black Naruto? I feel her temper and character are far from Hinata's. Jiraiya. They were afraid of Hinata because Hinata's strictness in their childhood left an impression on them, but I don't think Hinata's character will change much. Jin's character is obviously too proud and arrogant. Orochimaru. It's really a group of guys without memory. Have you forgotten the witches of the Ghost Country that appeared when we watched the movie Baming World? Miko of the Ghost Country. Orochimaru's words suddenly enlightened everyone. They remember that the witches in the Kingdom of Ghosts exist specifically to seal monsters. Uzumaki Baming did have some cooperation with the witches of the Ghost Country. And after successfully sealing the monsters, Xian, the maiden of the Ghost Country, also sent an invitation to Baming to help her pass on her power to the next witch. Uzumaki Baming foolishly didn't know what the other party was talking about, so he agreed directly. Moreover, Xian looks like a twin sister to Hyuga Hinata. Except for the difference in hair color, other appearances can be said to be 99% similar. Tsunade. Hey guy, it turns out that Uzumaki is the daughter of Xian and Kuromaki. I thought it was Hinata's daughter. Jiraiya. Well, now it's Uzumaki Ailu, who is Shi and Kuromaki's daughter. She really doesn't look like Uzumaki's daughter. Sarutobi Hiruzen. HMPH. Jiraiya, can you see this? Uchiha Sasuke. It doesn't matter who it is, it mainly depends on their strength. After all, the task of the two of them is to kill Otsutsuki Urashiki. Uchiha Itachi. It's just Urashiki. After all, the 12-year-old Uzumaki Naruto and Uzumaki Boruto, plus a greasy uncle who can only hug and wrestle, can handle opponents. I believe that Naruto's daughter can kill Uzumaki instantly. Uchiha Sasuke. Huh. Itachi, tell me clearly, what is a greasy uncle who can only hug and wrestle? The two sisters looked into the distance. It seems to be trying to sense something. That guy Pushi seems to be hiding, or he didn't know where he went when we traveled together. Susair Jien takes out the turtle in her hand, which is a prop left by the Otsutsuki family with the ability to travel through time and space. Otsutsuki Urashi suffered a great loss in the future world, and in desperation wants to use time travel to go back to the past, take advantage of the moment when Uzumaki Naruto is not strong enough to absorb the chakra in his body. Thinking for a moment, Uzumaki Yansumi suddenly showed a smile. Anyway, that guy's goal is father. We just need to find our father, find a way to stay by his side, and sooner or later we will be able to wait for that fisherman Pushi. Well, you're right. Ailu nodded immediately. The key lies in how we lurk by our father's side, and in order not to change the future. The identities of the two of us cannot be revealed, nor can we do other things to eliminate Pushi. Uzumaki patted Ailu on the shoulder, said with a smile, let's take a step and see. First of all, we need to confirm the whereabouts of my father under this timeline. However, the voice just fell. Uzumaki Yansumair's pretty face changes suddenly. Then, said in a deep voice, sister, someone is coming towards us. The space enchantment I set up shakes. Space enchantment. Shao Chi, when did you learn this kind of ninjutsu? Ailu looks curious. Our Kingdom of Ghosts is good at sealing and enchantment techniques, plus the talent of my 7th princess. Isn't it normal to learn this kind of technique? Jan Jin gives Ailu a white look. I really envy you all. I am different, I only know swordsmanship. Hearing Ailu's sigh, Jian Jin wished to go up and pinch her face. After all, Ailu gave the first feeling of fannor. Okay, third sister, don't say these things are useless. We have to leave this place for the time being, and then find a way to find the trace of our father. Remember, don't leak chakra casually afterwards, otherwise it will be very troublesome to be perceived. J. Hey, I don't know whether the two of us can perceive father's chakra in this timeline. Ailu's speech was blocked by Jin Jin. Stupid third sister, don't try indiscriminately, Even if can perceive father's chakra, we will be completely exposed in front of him. It will be troublesome when there is confusion. Uzumaki Kansumi said. The lavender pupils suddenly flashed brightly. Then, the space behind her and Ailu cracked a dark gap out of thin air. Walk. Without saying a word, Uzumaki Kasumi immediately picked up Uzumaki Ailu, and the two of them jumped towards the gap without looking back. Just as the two jumped into the gap, the split space disappeared instantly. After a few seconds, a figure suddenly came to the place where the two left. The breath disappeared? Uzumaki Naruto frowned in doubt. Also, when he set off just now, he seemed to have touched some kind of invisible barrier. It looks like an enchantment, but it feels different from ordinary enchantments. Even Rinnegan can't see through the barrier. Who is the other party? What is the purpose? Uzumaki Naruto murmured suspiciously to himself. If it was the Otsutsuki clan, they shouldn't just leave quietly like this. It's really strange. Uzumaki Naruto used Rinnegan to visit the back mountain, but found no clues. Forget it. Let's give the information back to the main body first. The voice fell. Uzumaki Naruto turned into white smoke and disappeared. Audience. It still has to be you, Uzumaki Kuromaki. Sure enough, he was cautious enough. When Hymen caught two powerful chakra, he didn't let the main body come in person. It should also be worried that there will be some serious problems. Is that why you tried to gather information on the scene first? It can be seen that Uzumaki Kansumi and Uzumaki Ailu are currently no less powerful than Uzumaki Black Ming. However, it was Uzumaki's ninjutsu that surprised the audience the most. It wasn't space enchantment, but the ninjutsu used by the two sisters when they fled the scene. Terumi Mei. If I remember correctly, the familiar crack just now was Onoki. Ah. You should remember correctly. I think the same as you. Fourth Raikage. It is impossible for people in the ghost country to use this kind of ninjutsu, even the daughter of Xian and Hyeming. How could it be possible to use this kind of ninjutsu? Black Zetsu. Impossible, this is a ninjutsu that only mothers can use. Uchiha Madara. As Huang Quan Hirazaka. Wangchen Bilyangsaka is a special ability activated by relying on his own blood successor snare. This is a blood problem. It is impossible for the priestesses of the ghost country to have this kind of bloodline ability. The only explanation is Uchiha Obito. Does the future Uzumaki even have the ability to snare blood? Black Zetsu. This. Uchiha Madara. Haha, it's probably due to Black Zetsu. Senju Tobirama. Black Naruto's intuition is very accurate. Black Zetsu can surprise him. The main city of the Kingdom of Fire. To be precise, it should be above the main city of the Vortex country, which is under construction. Two figures stand high above the sky. The distance between the two makes it impossible to see their existence clearly from the ground. What's going on? It stands to reason that this should be our home, the main city of the Vortex Kingdom. Uzumaki Kansumi's eyes flickered a few times. Suddenly realized. It seems that the timeline of our arrival, the Kingdom of Vortex, has not yet been formally established. So our father should still be living in Konoha village? Ai Lu and Jian Jin, you speak with each other. Let's go to Konoha village first. I just want to see what the current Konoha village looks like. By the way, miss my alma mater. After Uzumaki finished speaking, he opened Wangchen Bilyangsaka, but was stopped by Jin Jin. Third sister, we should go down and ask about the current situation. Think again, otherwise, if you run to Konoha village in a daze, it will be easy to show your feet. As expected. Not only Uzumaki Kansumi can cast Wangchen Hirasaka, but Uzumaki L beside her can also use it. This kind of ninjutsu, just like the ninjutsu engraved in their bones, will be performed from birth. Strong. It is really strong and terrifying. Uzumaki Kansumi and Uzumaki Ailu, just relying on the performance of Koizumi Hirasaka, is enough to prove that the two of them are terrible. With the blood inheritance net, they have stood at the top of the world since they were born. Orochimaru. It's simply wonderful. Is this the future Uzumaki family? I said that if you want to stabilize the ninja world, you must revive the Uzumaki family. Tsunade. Indeed, it would be a pity if Uzumaki's high-quality bloodline is not passed on, but how did he reach such a height? Otsutsuki Kaguya. This kind of thing is not difficult to understand. He only needs to absorb the fully bloomed sacred tree into his body and open the Juguyu reincarnation Sharingan to reach such a height. Uchiha Madara. Is it like when I cast Infinite Tsukuyomi? Otsutsuki Kaguya. Yes. It's a pity that you didn't put your mind on studying this power at the beginning, but chose to cast Infinite Tsukuyomi anxiously. Senju Hashirama. Madara, it turns out that you also have the opportunity to restore the glory of the Uchiha clan, but what you care about is the false world. Senju Tobirama. Yes, but in the end, Black Zetsu took out his heart and fell short. Otsutsuki Kaguya. What I wonder is, as the descendants of Uzumaki Koronaru, why those two girls can display this power so easily at such a young age. Presumably in the future, Uzumaki Koronaru's blood successors the fundamentals are even higher than mine. Black Zetsu. What? The future Uzumaki Black Ming, the ability can surpass the Mother Sama. This is impossible. Otsutsuki Hagoromo. No matter how much Black Zetsu conspires, it's nothing more than letting Black Zetsu absorb the sacred tree to cast Infinite Tsukuyomi. Even if the plan is seen through by Black Zetsu, the height that Black Zetsu can reach is at most equal to that of his mother. How can he surpass his mother? Otsutsuki Kaguya. Perhaps this has something to do with the other powers he cultivated in the ninja world, such as the ninjutsu in the ninja world, and the techniques that Yuya has studied for so many years, such as the power of yin and yang. The content expounded in the discussion group immediately caused the audience in Beiming World to fall into doubts about life. Uzumaki, no matter how clever he is, how hard he is, he can never surpass Otsutsuki Kaguya. After all, as the ancestor of chakra, Kaguya is equivalent to the ceiling of chakra. This point, rather like a puzzle, lingers in people's hearts. Tsunade. Do you think Kuro Naruto used the sacred tree to collect the power of chakra in the ninja world, and then followed the example of the Otsutsuki family and began to eat the fruit of the sacred tree? Jiraiya. The only explanation seems to be the most reasonable, but it feels unreasonable. If Kuro Ming keeps eating the fruit of chakra, the world of ninjas will soon become barren, but from the conversation between Jin and Elu it can be seen that their world is not barren. Senju Hashirama. Don't think about things that you don't understand. Let's continue to look later, and we will definitely know the answer. And who do you think is the older of the two daughters of Haiming? Senju Tobirama. Brother, your focus is very interesting. If you want me to say, it must be that Uzumaki Ailu is better than Uzumaki Kanjin. Uzumaki Kushina. I feel the same way, although Ailu is a bit natural. Shimura Danzo. Huh. Do you think L is strong because she looks like you? I hope they both can cause trouble for Koronaru. Namikaze Minato. You should think too much about this kind of thing. These two children are not very old, but they are obviously very sensible. Sensible. Uzumaki Beiming and Hyuga Hinata looked seriously at Uzumaki Kansumi and Uzumaki Ailu, who were inquiring about information on the screen. There was always a harmless smile on the faces of the two of them. His speech and behavior were just right, and he successfully got the information they wanted from the workers. Very quickly, but figured out the situation of the two of them at this time. Bai Ming and Hinata, both of them stared in a daze, couldn't help but think of their children. Uzumaki Boruto and Uzumaki Sunflower. Although sunflowers are young, they are quite beautiful. Uzumaki Boruto in the early stage is much worse in comparison. Not only does he not understand Uzumaki Bai Ming, but he always brings various troubles to Bai Ming. Although Bai Ming ignored Boruto because of his busy work, it is a pity that in general, the previous Boruto was really not satisfactory. What a complete failure. Uzumaki Beiming let out a long sigh. I manage the big Konoha village by myself, and the feeling of being busy every day has less hair. Even Bai Ming, who only has 2 children, if it weren't for the attack of the Otsutsuki clan, Boruto would still be singing against himself. On the other hand, Uzumaki Black Naruto. He manages the entire ninja world in his hands, and Uzumaki is already his 7th child. Bai Ming doesn't know if there will be others in the future. However, whether it is Uzumaki GND or Uzumaki Ailu, under the premise of possessing super strength, he has been able to maintain a humble attitude. This quality is priceless. It can be seen that their tutoring has not been left behind. Cut. It must be that their mothers were well educated. What does it have to do with Haiming? Is that right, Llama? HMPH. Nine Tails snorted coldly, and fell down on the ground. Don't ask me this kind of question, I don't know much about family issues. Konoha village. It is still very lively, and there is an endless stream of people coming and going. Other ninja villages sent personnel to hand in the surrender agreement. There are also workers who came for the expansion of Konoha village. With such a huge flow of people, the ninjas of Konoha village are in high spirits. Soon, Uzumaki Ailu and Uzumaki Kansumi arrived at the gate of Konoha village. Sorry. Please wait outside for a while. Also, fill in this form and explain why you are here. Gang ZT stopped the two of them, and handed a form to them by the way. It's actually Uncle Gongza Tai. Also, Uncle Shen Yuian. She thinks that they have already started to work as the gatekeepers of Konoha village in this era. Ai Lu is slightly excited. In the future world, Ai Lu would often go to Konoha village when she was in school, and she was very impressed with the elderly Shen Yuian and Gang Zatetsu. I often listen to Goko Tetsu and Kamizuki Izumo talking about the historical development of Konoha village with a group of students at the same time. Moreover, the relationship between the two of them has been very good since they were young, and they still stick to the post of Konoha village gatekeeper together until they are old. Jan Jin pinched Ai Lu's thigh fiercely. Be careful, if they overhear, our identities will be revealed. Fool. Zhao Shen rolled her eyes at Ai Lu. Jin Jin waved her hand, and handed the completed form to Gang ZT. You are. Gang ZT looked at the form in his hand seriously, and kept nodding. Go in. Thanks. Jin Jin heard the words, quickly took Ai Guo's hand and followed the crowd into Konoha village. Hey. Xiaoqi, what content did you fill in? For example, in what capacity did we come to Konoha village? Since stepping into Konoha village, the communication between Uzumaki Ailu and Uzumaki Kansumi has become their unique way of communication. Silent communication can be achieved through slight fluctuations in mental power. The content described will only appear in each other's minds, and outsiders will not be able to hear a word. And this technique does not have the fluctuation of chakra, so it cannot be sensed by the perception. I didn't write anything, I combined the illusion technique and the time technique together. After we stepped into Konoha village, Uncle Gang ZT's state will return to before he met us, and then he will be busy with the people behind us. So, the two of us don't exist in his subconscious mind, and we won't arouse his suspicion because of this kind of thing. And the change in time and status was only a few seconds ago, and the busy Uncle Shenue Izumo didn't have time to remember us. Isn't that good? Uzumaki Ailu was in a cold sweat when he heard that. You're screwing Uncle Gongza Tai. Don't worry, it's okay. Trust me, concerning Ailu's nervousness, Sumair Khan looks disapproving. As a priestess, Sumair Khan has a much stronger understanding of the power of time than Uzumaki Ailu. Just like Uzumaki Ailu asked when she first came to this world, she was worried that Naruto didn't like her. However, Jian Jin thinks that this is what their father did on purpose. All of this is not accidental. The future Uzumaki Naruto obviously has an impression of this period of history, so he sent two people to eliminate Otsutsuki or Ashiki. And their tasks must be successfully completed, but the process is not very clear. Tsunade. Could it be that Sumair Khan inherited Uzumaki Koronaru's time regression? Jiraiya. It doesn't feel like it. The other party can actually engrave the ability to go back in time on an object, which is a bit outrageous. W. Orochimaru. Susair Kane's illusion is to confuse Goko Tetsu, and the time regression is to make Goko Tetsu forget the existence of the two of them. Don't forget that the witches in the ghost country have the ability to control time before they are born. According to Orochimaru's description, everyone remembered the process of Uzumaki Beiming and Xian sealing the monsters. Zi Yuan can not only see the life and death of many people by predicting the future. Even after being devoured by sprites, she awakened and understood the true power of witches. By returning to the past through time, he secretly placed the bell protecting the witch on Uzumaki Beiming's body, which protected Uzumaki Beiming from being attacked by monsters. Changed Uzumaki Hakunaru to die in fate in the hands of sprites. Tsunade. I understand. The illusion is to let Gang ZT let them go together, so that Gang ZT can go back to before he met them. Gang ZT himself has no sign of illusion in his body. There is no memory of them. Namikaze Minato. Backquote. Although the method is a bit cumbersome, it guarantees the safety to the greatest extent. Jiraiya. Gangxi is unlucky. If Haiming finds out about this, wouldn't he blame Gangxi? Terumi may. Probably not, and judging from Sumayor's psychological activities just now, Uzumaki should have discovered their identities, so he dispatched them in the future. Back to the past. After slipping into Konoha village, Uzumaki Jien and Uzumaki Ailu are like two curious babies. Look here, look there. This is the old Konoha village. Third sister, look at Hokage Rock, the current Hokage is still father. The heads of Grandpa Kakashi from the 7th generation and Uncle Sasuke from the 8th generation have not been engraved yet. However, I still think the 7th generation project is interesting, and the 8th generation project has a straight face every day, and the serious look is a bit scary. I feel that both of them are good. They have both taught me swordsmanship. 8 Dame Hokage is very serious when he guides my homework. Don't mention your swordsmanship, third sister. I wonder why you are so obsessed with swordsmanship. It's not that you haven't activated Rinnegan. Could it be that Rinnegan's pupil technique is not good? When the Finado clan was wiped out, you were really slashing one by one. You were so patient. By the way, I haven't seen your Rinnegan pupil technique yet. HMPH. You are still young, and you don't understand the charm of being a swordsman. Okay. After all, you are a big sister. You can say anything. Hey, third sister, look, it's Ichiraku Ramen, should we try it? Seeing the Ichiraku Ramen restaurant, the two sisters looked at each other with a look of endless aftertaste. During school, the two did not eat less. Their elder brother Uzumaki Boruto is out of place in this respect. Boruto prefers to eat things like sandwiches and burgers. However, in the hearts of Uzumaki brothers and sisters, Uzumaki Boruto is the first heir to the empire after all, and it should be different. At the same time, when Sumayor and Ailu were so excited that they wanted to go to the Ichiraku Ramen restaurant, they never noticed that there were two pairs of eyes staring at them. Azuki Shion and Hyuga Hinata. The two look at the two sisters with serious expressions. Just now, Shion and Hinata, who had nothing to do, were ordered by Naruto. There are two strange guys sneaked into Konoha village. I hope they can help investigate the situation. Looking at the lively girl in front of her, Hinata secretly made up her mind to help Naruto find out the purpose of the other party coming to Konoha. Shi Yan also has the same thoughts. As the direct guard of 6th Hokage, she absolutely does not allow anyone to do anything harmful. Even if you are facing two innocent girls who seem harmless to humans and animals. Hey, the two people in front, please stop for a while. The voice of Azuki Shion, Uzumaki Ailu, who was still immersed in the temptation of ramen, suddenly stiffened, and really stood motionless. Not only her, although Uzumaki was not that exaggerated, but when she heard the voice behind her, she stopped immediately. Violet. Ailu is dumbfounded, and her voice is trembling even more. Ah. It won't be so unlucky. The two don't need to turn their heads, they can know the identity of the person behind them who stopped them just by judging by the voice. This voice is too familiar. Janjin showed an embarrassed smile. Third sister, we were stopped by Shion's mother right after we entered Konoha village? Is this the point? Straight Uzumaki Ailu is so nervous that people are going to faint. She is my biological mother. Azuki Shion. What? Anko. No way, Ailu's mother is actually Shion? Tsunade. PFF'd. This ending is really unexpected, and Kushina really hit the mark. Shion, you have something special. Yurihong. No wonder Ailu likes swordsmanship, it must be taught by Shion, after all Shion loves swordsmanship. Haruno Sakura. I laughed so hard, these two cuties thought they were perfect, but their father had already seen through. Baming World. Everyone in Maue Shion was stupid. Uzumaki Ailu on the screen is actually her daughter with Hyeming. No wonder Ailu feels a bit inferior. Compared with other people's identities, Azuki Yugo, who is an Anbu ninja, can be said to be ordinary to ultimate. However, will Uzumaki be concerned with these identity issues? In the ninja world, it doesn't matter if you are a daimyo princess or the heir of a family. For Uzumaki, they are just ordinary people under him. Or what Uzumaki said makes sense, some things are just Ailu's mediocrity. But from the point of view that Ailu and Jin have a natural fear of them as mothers. I don't know about the other children, but Uzumaki Kansumi and Uzumaki Ailu who have already appeared are definitely very filial children. Nervous, helpless. Uzumaki Ailu turned her head mechanically, when she saw Azuki Shion, who was also wearing a high ponytail and long braid. Elu suddenly takes a breath. Sure enough, there is nothing wrong, it is her biological mother, Mrs. Gao Lang. Moreover, next to Azuki Shion, the First Lady Hinata's mother followed. Jian Jin, who was not so nervous before, put on a mask of pain on her pretty face instantly. However, the moment they saw Jin Jin, Azuki Shion and Hyuga Hinata were startled at the same time. Shi Yan was stunned for a few seconds, then took a careful look at Jin Jin, and then looked at Hinata. Immediately, they began to observe back and forth on the faces of the two of them. Picture. So similar. Suddenly, Maoyue Shion was terrified. The girl in front of me is so similar to Hyuga Hinata. This person is not someone like Hinata's distant relative? Shi Yan thought to herself, and quickly dispelled such boring thoughts. Other than Konoha, I have never heard of the Hyuga clan. You. What do you do? What is the purpose of coming to Konoha village? Similarly, because of the extremely white-eyed pupils of Sumair and Hinata's appearance, Azuki Shion and Hyuga Hinata suddenly became nervous. Facing Shi Yan's questioning, Ai Lu has already lost her speech function due to nervousness. Continuously have to send out distress calls to Uzumaki Jian. It's over, it seems that my appearance has aroused their suspicion. I should have used the transformation technique if I knew it earlier. Uzumaki Kansumi shakes her head in distress. However, if you use transformation technique, it will be hard to argue if you are discovered after contacting Naruto. Moreover, in order to sneak into Konoha village, Sumair Khan proposed to replace Ai Lu with the clothes with the logo of the Uzumaki clan. Who would have thought that he would be caught by two mothers right after entering Konoha? Now is not the time to say it's over, Jin Jin. Ai Lu's anxious voice is heard. Uzumaki Yanjin hurriedly responded, "Third sister, please keep calm first. If you are always in fear, it will be easier to show your feet. Also, Mama Yan and Mama Hinata danced us alone among so many people who entered Konoha village. I guess the trouble is still to come. We should be targeted by Dad and treated as a suspicious person." Uzumaki Ailu heard the words, and his brain crashed immediately. I just entered Konoha village and was targeted by Uzumaki Naruto's father? Are there any questions? Uzumaki Ailu wished that Viola Jien beside her would be buried in a pit. Little Seven is unreliable except for being a joke. It shouldn't be. Konoha village is so busy now. Shouldn't father be busy meeting people from all over the place? Also, when I attached ninjutsu to the paper to fill in the form, I have suppressed the fluctuation of chakra to the point where it is almost impossible to perceive. How we were discovered. Did you not make any response within 30 seconds of tension? Konoha village Hokage office. Uzumaki Naruto looks at the crystal ball on the table alone. Uzumaki Ailu and Uzumaki Sumair did not answer Azuki Yuyan's question for nearly 30 seconds. Okay, there is definitely a problem with the identities of these two people. Kurama. I didn't expect the two strong men who attacked before to be such young girls. Which ninja village are they ninjas from? Uzumaki Naruto is also full of melancholy. He couldn't figure it out. After all, before, he not only sensed two chakras that were so powerful that they even surpassed him. Even in the back mountain, I touched a space enchantment that even Rinnegan couldn't detect. This kind of terrifying chakra and technique is enough to see the horror of the other party. Why in the Fourth Ninja World War, I have never seen such a strong man. Naruto. Are you sure it's these two girls? I'm sure. Kurama, look. Uzumaki Naruto pointed to the picture on the crystal ball. Uzumaki Kansumi in the screen has already started chatting with Azuki Yugo. The dress and temperament of the two of them are definitely not ordinary civilians. So what? Nine Tails listened in confusion. Maybe a princess from some country came to Konoha village to ask you to surrender. No. Uzumaki Naruto quickly shook his head and said, this kind of thing is too easy to distinguish. For the small countries that surrendered during this time, those daimyos have already decided to give up their status as daimyos and leave the city to spend their old age in peace. But their usual living habits have not changed. It's also Konoha village, which was carried in a sedan chair. Also, have you ever seen a famous princess who will personally fill out the form for this purpose? Besides, I sent my avatar to ask Gang ZT just now, and he has no impression of these two people at all. Gang ZT must have been hit by their illusion and his memory of seeing them was erased. It can be said that they came to Konoha village, there must be an ulterior purpose. Especially when Goko Tetsu was mentioned, Uzumaki Kuromaki's expression became more and more dignified. When did the ninjutsu used by the other party erase Gang ZT's memory of meeting them? Uzumaki Naruto was surprised. He has been using the telescope technique to observe the people coming and going at the gate of Konoha village, and he also saw Sumair filling out the form, but he could not feel any chakra fluctuations. These two definitely have problems. This. The audience in Beiming World were all ashamed. What Uzumaki said was not wrong. From the screen just now, when Jin was filling out the form, the audience did see the sedan chair waiting outside Konoha village. It must be the tool used by the daimyo or the princess from a long journey. Who would have thought that Uzumaki Kansumi and Uzumaki Ailu have a higher status than the ninja daimyo princesses? But he never had the habit of being served by the other party in everything. Jin and Ailu's hands-on, approachable behavior has become the key to Hymen's solution to the case. Bad luck. Tsunade. Jiraiya. I'm a little speechless. The noble qualities of Ailu and Jin actually harmed them. This is too outrageous. Yamanaka Ino. They are all so cute, and they don't have the airs of a ninja princess at all. Haruno Sakura. I didn't expect Hymen's education to be so successful. At least these two children are sensible and filial. And as the princess of Uzumaki, they are so aloof and approachable. I remember that Ailu seemed to say that she was in school. I often go to listen to Gang ZT bragging with my classmates at the same time. Shimura Danzo. That's what's weird, this kind of behavior is a disgrace to their identities. Orochimaru. Uncle Danzo, don't be so excited. After all, she is Naruto-kun's daughter. Her strength is already invincible in the world, and she doesn't need the boring system of the world at all. Onoki. Orochimaru is right. If they really want to be served, I think there must be a lot of people who will follow them. Maybe they don't like that feeling in the first place. Hyuga Hinata. After all, when they came to the ninja world this time, Ailu and Jin both took missions with them, and they also took the experience very seriously. Third sister, don't be nervous. I just guessed that we were discovered by my father. It is also possible that we happened to catch up with Shien's mother on patrol. I remember she used to be an Anbu ninja from Konoha village. Of course, even if we are discovered by Dad, we can just touch him and wait for Pushi to arrive. Uzumaki Kansumi's confident appearance made Ailu's mouth twitch. It's really better to say than to sing. Okay, third sister, you just need to not say anything for a while and just watch my performance. Communication with Ailu ends. Uzumaki Yanjin coughed twice, said with a smile, my name is Jianjin, and my sister Ailu is beside me. We want to ask Mr. 6th Hokage Uzumaki Naruto for money. Uzumaki Airu. You are talking nonsense here. Want money? Maue Shien's eyes immediately widened upon hearing this. Hyuga Hinata is also confused. Looking Uzumaki up and down, I realized that the other party is actually barefoot and not wearing shoes. Could it be children displaced by the war? The kind-hearted Hinata thought about it, but quickly dismissed the idea. No matter how pitiful the other party is, it is absolutely impossible to be unknown. 6th Hokage owes you money. Shien's voice suddenly became extremely indifferent. This caused Uzumaki to wave her fair arm and said, No, you misunderstood. How should I say it? Jin pretended to be distressed, thought for a while, and said, Actually, it's all my own thoughts. I like singing and dancing, and my dream is to create my own song and dance troupe. So, I want to take advantage of the time when Naruto-sama dominates the ninja world. I hope Naruto-sama can give me some startup funds. Puff. Ailu heard the words, almost spit out blood in anger. She didn't understand what was going on in Jin's mind, and why she would say such an outrageous and lame reason. Father is unifying the ninja world, but you ran out to ask others for money to fulfill your so-called dream. This. Shi Yan was confused by Jin's words. Are you here to solicit investment? Hinata asked weakly. Yeah. Investment, I'm here to try to attract investment. As expected of Hinata's mother, she told the truth with one word. Uzumaki GND let out a sigh of relief. Watch it again. Shang Hinata. Unexpectedly, Hinata's mother in this period looks so gentle and lovely. It's over. It would be strange if such a lame reason could work. Uzumaki Ailu was so nervous that her heart was pounding. However, Azuki Shion and Hyuga Hinata looked at each other and nodded at the same time. How dare you say? Shi Yan glanced at Jin Jin coldly, and then at Ailu beside her. Ailu, although she is serious, she gives Yan a special feeling. Azuki Shion looked at Ailu a few more times, but when the other party found out, she blushed and avoided her eyes. Shion nodded. The two sisters in front of her had very different heart attacks. Ailu is shy, but Jin Jin is a very thick-skinned girl. As a woman, Azuki Shion's sixth sense told herself that the two girls in front of her should not cause any harm to Konoha village. Of course, even if they want to make waves, what can they do in front of the great sixth Hokage? Okay, I get it. Azuki Shion nodded. Since you are looking for sixth Hokage to attract investment for your so-called dream, then I will take you to see Master Hokage. Naruto-sama, tell me. Tsunade. Uzumaki GND is really capable of nonsense, just open your mouth. Terumi Mei. When things have come to this point, there is actually nothing that cannot be said, and what Jin Jin said is not completely unreasonable. Yurihong. Uzumaki Yanjin acted like a dead pig who is not afraid of boiling water. She did this on purpose. Shion and Hinata really have nothing to do with her. Jiraiya. I just came to 6th Hokage with the cheek to ask for money to fulfill my dream. Now Uzumaki has transformed into a dream chaser who pursues singing and dancing. At least it gave her and Ailu a normal identity, although they behaved a bit rascally. Uzumaki Kushina. Susumi definitely inherited that child's habit of talking nonsense. Faced with anything, all kinds of content will come out of my mouth. I am a grandma who is happy to see it. Namikaze Minato. Haha. But the two of them will meet the child in a while. Do you think there will be some jokes? Senju Tobarama. Do you really just think this kid is talking nonsense? Senju Hashirama. Is there any other mystery in it? Uchiha Madara. Hashirama. Move your pig's brain. What's the situation now? This is the moment when Uzumaki is gradually unifying the ninja world. After using it up, the follow-up image will be more critical. Uzumaki Jianhong seized this point and packaged herself as a girl chasing her dreams, and came to Hyeming for help. After all, Azuki Shion. And Hyuga Hinata has no definite evidence to prove that Jin Jin and Ailu have other purposes. If they detain them in Konoha village in front of so many people who surrendered, they will have an image of Hyeming. Unfavorable, in this case, they can only take Jin Jin and Ailu to meet Uzumaki Kuromaki. Senju Tobarama. Yes. I think so too. This girl named Uzumaki is exactly like his father. She likes to catch people. Uchiha Makoto. I remember that Sumair Khan specially talked with the workers for a long time at the place where the main city of Uzumaki was built in order to collect information. The information about the Ninja World War and Koronaru's plan, this time she sneaked into Konoha village, was really used by her. Kushina's granddaughter is so amazing. Uzumaki's seemingly unreasonable performance of Jian Shao has other special meanings. The explanations in the discussion group also made the audience suddenly enlightened. Uzumaki Jian Mian, about 12 or 13 years old. At the time of youth, I love singing and dancing, and want to form my own band. This kind of identity even more packs her into an image of a sunny girl who is positive and strives hard for her dream. If Uzumaki Hyeming can't come up with definite evidence to sanction them and seize them indiscriminately, it will indeed give other people a bad word. Fear is one thing. But if Hyeming starts to kill indiscriminately at the moment when he is about to unify the ninja world, it will be a waste of everything he has laid before. Azuki Shion and Hyuga Hinata are well aware of the importance of Kuromaki's image. That's why I didn't dare to act too proactively, and it was the most appropriate to hand over Jian Jin and Ailu to Hyeming. In disguise, it also reflects the thoughts of Azuki Shion and Hyuga Hinata. They didn't dare to be careless about Hyeming's affairs. Konoha Village Hokage Office. Uzumaki Naruto sits upright, waiting for the arrival of Uzumaki Ailu and Uzumaki Kansumi. Want to attract investment for your dream? Through the telescope technique, the conversation between Sumire Kane and Yugo fell into Naruto's ears. Uzumaki Naruto was so suspicious that his expression became serious. This kind of remarks is obviously some nonsense, at least he doesn't believe Jin's words at all. HMPH. When I see them later, I will know what their purpose of coming to Konoha village is. Uzumaki Naruto snorted coldly, and immediately opened the Rinnegan. Jiraiya. Sure enough, Black is planning to use mind-reading skills to probe into the other party's mind. Tsunade. I don't think Black Naruto can detect it anymore. Orochimaru. This. Although I am a fan of Naruto-kun, I think Tsunade is right this time. Impossible. Is it possible that the current Uzumaki and Ailu have surpassed Kuro Ming in strength? The audience was taken aback for a moment, but then they suddenly realized. Although Uzumaki Black Ming is very powerful, but at best it is Rinnegan's pupil technique. However, Ailu and Jin, they already have the power to snare blood. Regardless of combat experience and the ingenious use of different pupil skills, the essential grades of Uzumaki Tgn and Uzumaki Ailu are above the current Black name. Onoki. Is it because of the difference in strength? Tsunade. No, Orochimaru. It's because Naruto-kun is facing the problem of his own flesh and blood. Do you remember Ida's charm? Except for the Otsutsuki family and close relatives, no one can escape her ability. Jiraiya. You mean Orochimaru. It's the artificial human Ada developed with the ability of Otsutsuki Shiba, and our ninjutsu pupils are all evolved from divine arts, and the abilities of divine arts cannot affect close relatives. I think Mr. Naruto's mind reading should also be ineffective on his own blood. Bang bang bang. Soon, there was a knock on the door. Please come in. Uzumaki Naruto pretended nothing happened, and his words were extraordinarily calm. After the door opened, Hinata took Ailu and Yu into the office. Along the way, the two sisters kept communicating in their minds. Uzumaki Kansumi has been telling Uzumaki Ailu that she must keep calm when she sees her father. Now, they already have a suitable identity, and they must not show any lies. Even if their true purpose is known, father must not be allowed to know their true identity. After all, this involves the question of whether they will exist in the future. Of course, in Sumire's heart, she still thinks that the future Uzumaki Naruto has this memory of the past. But there is no harm in being careful in everything. However, once you enter the door, Uzumaki Jianfu-bing saw the way Naruto glared at Rinnegan, and still trembled. As far as Vivian can remember, their father seldom activates Rinnegan in front of people, except when he is very angry or trying some kind of spell. So, Uzumaki Naruto at this time should be a very angry moment in the eyes of Kasumi. Uzumaki Ailu, it is a kind of feeling. The father in front of him has lost the majesty in his impression, and his appearance has hardly changed. Suddenly, the minds of the two sisters were completely different. Father, after seeing Naruto, Uzumaki suddenly became nervous. Completely cast aside what Jin said earlier. Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto's expression was slightly startled. He seemed to hear the red-haired girl in front of him speak just now, but he didn't hear clearly. What's more, the girl with bare feet next to the other party suddenly began to cry loudly. Uzumaki Naruto and the others didn't even hear what Ailu blurted out in surprise just now. Immediately, the audience in Beiming World was dumbfounded by Jin's actions. What happened? Uzumaki, who was still trying to persuade Ailu not to be nervous, burst into tears after seeing Uzumaki Kuromaki. Tsunade. It seems that I was frightened by Hemming's eyes. Jiraiya. Orochimaru. Terumi Mei. This. What happened to Jin, who said clearly just now, and patted her chest to reassure Ailu. Conan. She seemed to recall an angry Uzumaki in her mind just now. Uzumaki Kushina. Well, it seems my grandchildren are afraid of their father and mother. Namikaze Minato. After all, as a parent, there are moments of kindness and dignity, not to mention the status of the child. It's over. Uzumaki Ailu just worried about the father, that he blurted out, and heard Lan crying loudly from beside him. Immediately, Ailu breathed a sigh of relief. Looking at Naruto who was staring at Rinnegan, she suddenly understood why Sumire was crying. She is very aware of Jin's behavior. For Jin, she is especially afraid of her father's anger. Father is rarely angry, and has never been angry at them, But Jin has been afraid since she was a child. As long as she happens to find her father angry, Jin will be frightened and cry. Even if the matter has nothing to do with her. Jin, don't cry. Your father didn't say anything. Why are you crying? Third sister, didn't you see that father turned on the Rinnegan? He was just angry. Uzumaki Kansumi wrinkled her nose and wiped away her tears. Speaking of which, I am already 12 years old, and it is a bit embarrassing that I still cry when my father is angry. Third sister, do you think it's because the old man found out about my use of illusion on Uncle Gong's Atai? That's why you're angry with us. I told you everything. This matter is unreliable, but you yourself said it's fine, it's all right now. The two sisters communicated privately in front of Uzumaki Naruto and Shi and Hinata. I didn't notice the surprised eyes of Shi and Hinata at all. Not to mention, at this time Uzumaki Naruto was looking at them in front of him with a circled face. What happened? Uzumaki Naruto was dumbfounded. Just now, he tried to perform mind reading on Jin and Ailu, but he was completely unable to understand what they were thinking at the moment. What's more, one of them burst into tears after seeing him, but he still didn't have any thoughts in his heart. Impossible. My mind reading skills actually failed in front of the two of them? Uzumaki Naruto looked at Azuki Shion and Hyuga Hinata unbelievingly. Azuki Shion. Why is she crying? Did something happen? Hyuga Hinata. What's going on? Did she think of sad things after meeting Naruto-kun? Hey, poor child, she must have been homeless due to the war. No wonder she wanted to use Naruto-kun's investment. To fulfill her dream, she doesn't even have the money to buy shoes. Uzumaki Naruto. She couldn't afford shoes because she was poor. It's impossible for her to be poor. Puff. Azuki Shion and Hyuga Hinata's inner thoughts seem to have diverted from Uzumaki's. It is clear from Koronaru's helpless expression that he is at a loss when faced with the crying Uzumaki. And the witch of the ghost country it should be Viola's mother Ziyuan. Ziyuan especially likes bare feet. Even if she walks barefoot in the lava cave, she can't feel the hot feet. Maybe this is some kind of special ability of witches. After trying for a long time, Uzumaki Naruto found that he did not lose the pupil technique of observing people's hearts. But only for the two girls in front of him, his Rinnegan's pupil technique lost its effect. Since Rinnegan's mind-reading ability has lost its effect on them, Uzumaki Naruto closed the Rinnegan, and his eyes returned to normal blue. The identities of these two people are really not simple. Uzumaki Naruto further confirmed that the super-strong chakra he felt that day was the two girls in front of him. And can't visit the other party's mind. In Naruto's eyes, he thinks that the other party's ability is superior to his own. Is it really the Otsutsuki family? Especially Uzumaki, who is still sobbing. Her pupils that look like white eyes but are not white eyes made Naruto even more suspicious. After all, when talking with Sage of Six Paths once showed Naruto the appearance of Otsutsuki Kaguya. Have a pair of supercilious eyes for convenience. But are her eyes really white eyes? Naruto observed Kansumi carefully. I feel that the other party's pupils don't look like white eyes. For a while, it was Naruto who got a little closer. Especially when he heard Jin's cry, he suddenly felt that his brain was about to explode. However, Uzumaki Naruto is also strange, he is not particularly sensitive to crying. At the beginning on the battlefield, or when Konoha collapsed back then. The wailing sounded everywhere, much worse than Uzumaki's crying, but Naruto didn't have any adverse reactions. Could it be that my mentality has changed after the war? Uzumaki Naruto murmured inwardly, no. Because the person in front of you is your own daughter. This scene, the audience still understands. As a parent, especially as a father. When facing a child crying, they who can't coax the child appear extremely clumsy. Anxious minds make them like ants on a hot pan. I was in a hurry and there was nothing I could do. All that was left was helplessness and distress. It is already very strong not to shout for help. Shimura Danzo. I never expected that the people who can trouble Uzumaki Kuromaki are his children. Sarutobi Hiruzen. Udatain Kaharu. Danzo, do you want to see Himing sucked up and go crazy? It's nothing more than a normal reaction of a father, and flattened becomes flattened in your eyes. Tsunade. Uncle Danzo, in his eyes other than Hokage, other shit, certainly doesn't know what it's like to be a father. Uzumaki Naruto's mouth twitched in embarrassment. Is the other party really from the Otsutsuki family? Then you can't cry for yourself the first time you meet. There is no such reason. When Uzumaki Kansumi's emotions tended to stabilize, Uzumaki Naruto unconsciously let out a long breath, and instantly felt that the whole world was quiet. Okay, let's talk. You want more. What is the purpose of your coming here? It's really inexplicable. Uzumaki Naruto almost slipped the tongue. However, Jin and Ilu still found out his language problem. Sure enough, nothing that happened in Konoha village can't be hidden from my father. It seems that their conversation with Xian has already reached the ears of my father. What to do, Jin? After you made such a fuss, it seems that father is going to give us money and let us go away. Ilu's expression suddenly becomes melancholy. The change in her expression did not escape Naruto's observation. Suddenly, Uzumaki Naruto shuddered. Wait, what expression do you have? Don't you want to cry and make a fuss in my office? No. Don't be angry, I don't want to cry, let alone make trouble. Uzumaki Ilu heard the words and quickly denied it. I don't know why, do I look scary? I cry as soon as I enter the door. Uzumaki Naruto is slightly agitated. If it were someone else who dared to be so unreasonable, he would have kicked him out long ago. Naruto himself finds it strange that he is so patient with the two girls in front of him. Also, the other party is so powerful and terrifying. Why do they look so weak when they see themselves? They seem to be very afraid of themselves. What the hell does this happen? Uzumaki Naruto felt that things were a little complicated and confusing for the first time. Unless the girl in front of me is deliberately making fun of him. However, they don't behave like fakes. I'm sorry, Mr. Hokage, the main thing is that when you enter the door, your eyes are too scary. So. Uzumaki was embarrassed, but kept apologizing. Then she said, we came to Mr. Hokage, just to get some money from Mr. Hokage to fulfill my dream of creating a band. However, our village was destroyed in the war, and Sister Ilu and I were actually homeless. And if other people know that you have given us money, you will definitely be murdered by others after you walk out of Konoha village. So. Hearing Sumire's words, Naruto narrowed his eyes. Good guy. You not only want money, but also want to settle in Konoha village? Worried about others murdering you? It would be good if you don't take the initiative to kill people. Thought settled, Uzumaki Naruto slapped his forehead. It's messed up, it's all over. The question that should be considered now is not whether they will be murdered, nor whether they will be given money. These two people came to Konoha village, there must be other purposes. Money is not important, and the realization of the so-called ideal should be false. Also, Naruto always feels that Sumire's method has a taste of déjà vu. Uzumaki Naruto forcibly calmed down and reorganized his thoughts. Since you can't guess the other party's intentions, the only way out is to wait. After thinking for a long time, Naruto said quietly, let's talk about your dreams sometime later. Since you are homeless, you can stay in Konoha village temporarily. Hinata and Xian, I will leave them to you. Understood. Azuki Xian nodded, and put her white arm lightly on Uzumaki Ilu's shoulder. I see you have a short sword hanging around your waist. I know a little bit about swordsmanship, you just follow me. However, this scene is even more puzzling for Uzumaki Naruto. Sneaking away from the corner of her eyes just now, when Xian slapped Ilu, the other's body visibly trembled. It shouldn't be the reaction that the strong should have. 1. After Uzumaki Kansumi and Uzumaki Ilu had left, Uzumaki Kuromaki paced up and down in Hokage's office. His restless expression made people in the Beiming world amused. It was the first time they saw Uzumaki in such a negative and irritable mood. Many people also have doubts, even if Jin and Ilu are the biological daughters of Uzumaki Kuromaki. But in the past timeline, Uzumaki was not married and had children, and he should have no feelings for his daughter from the future. Why is there such a negative emotion inexplicably? Maybe this is the invisible and intangible chakra magnetic field resonance problem. The blood of the close relatives between the two is an invisible link to some extent. Especially Uzumaki Black Wine has super perception ability. He will be vaguely affected by this resonance, but he himself doesn't know it. Hyuga Hinata and Azuki Xian led Uzumaki Jian Lu and Uzumaki Elu back to their places of residence. The two were well aware of Naruto's arrangement. It should be to monitor the movements of the two. Uzumaki Naruto has not been idle in the past few days. Sneak around the Hyuga mansion and Uzuki Shien's house frequently and observe their actions. However, Uzumaki Ailu and Uzumaki Kansumi are very peaceful and have not behaved strangely. Uzumaki Ailu gets up step by step every day for morning exercises, and the time to wake up is more room than Uzuki Shien. Uzumaki GND is the same, she is also very honest in Hyuga's house. The most is to let Hyuga Hinata take her around Konoha village. And, at Hyuga Hinata's strong request, put on a pair of flip-flops. Konoha village Hokage office. Uzumaki Naruto is sitting on a chair, and standing in front of him is Hyuga Hiyashi of the Hyuga clan. Master Naruto. As the patriarch of the Hyuga clan, Hyuga Hiyashi is well aware of the current situation. 250. The establishment of Uzumaki Naruto announced the redefinition of Uzumaki Naruto's identity. Once the main city of Uzumaki is established, Uzumaki Naruto will resign from Hokage and become the ruler of Uzumaki. The title, Master Hokage, obviously doesn't fit his identity. According to my observations these past few days, the girl named Jin doesn't seem to have any problems. And I used my white eyes to observe her, and I didn't see any chakra fluctuations in her. Hyuga Hiyashi reports on the mission Uzumaki Naruto secretly entrusted to him. Can't even look at her with your white eyes? Naruto frowned, and asked in thought for a moment, aren't Viola's eyes white? It's not. Although I don't know why that girl looks similar to Hinata, but I know her eyes are not white. Maybe her appearance is a coincidence. As for why her pupils look like white eyes, it may be caused by some accidents at birth. At least I can't see the flow of chakra in her meridians with my white eyes. Uzumaki Naruto nods. Even though he was confused, he didn't give Hyuga Hiyashi a hard time. Maybe because the opponent is too strong, Hyuga Hiyashi's pupil power is not enough to see through the opponent. Uzumaki Naruto is relieved when he thinks that he can't read the other person's inner thoughts. Even if I can't judge the other party's situation, the people under me have no possibility. At the same time, the lakeside in the deep forest behind Konoha village. Ailu, who finished her training, quietly followed behind Uzuki Shien. I was able to meet my mother when I was young. Too nervous. Ailu raised her eyes and quietly glanced at Uzuki Shien who was walking in front. In the past few days, the life of the mother and daughter has been relatively monotonous. Practice swordsmanship. Of course, in order to conceal her identity, Uzumaki Ailu pretended to follow Shien to practice the basics of swordsmanship. However, no matter how well she hides it, Ailu's inadvertent movements make Shien's eyes shine. He kept praising Ailu as a genius in swordsmanship. If it weren't for the task assigned by Uzumaki Naruto, Uzuki Shien really wanted to pass on her original Konoha-style swordsmanship, Obscure Moonlight Night, to Uzumaki Isle. Okay. Let's take a rest here. Uzuki Shien stops suddenly, turns her head and smiles at Ailu. Immediately, he quietly squatted on the rock by the lake. Elu. I see that you have a knife on your waist, and you look so talented in swordsmanship. You are not interested in singing and dancing as Jin said. Uzumaki Ailu heard this, his eyes flickered, but he still said bravely. That's Jin's ideal. As her older sister, it would be great if I could stand by her side and protect her. So that's how it is. Uzuki Shien sighed in her heart. A pair of beautiful eyes kept looking at the slightly shy Ailu. Thinking that it would be great if the sisters could join Konoha village. In that case, I can also pass on my original swordsmanship to L. But in the next second, Uzuki Shien dismissed her thoughts. The identities of the two have not been clarified yet, so don't be careless about everything. Suddenly, the atmosphere fell into embarrassment. The mother and daughter sat quietly on the rock without saying a word, watching the ripples in the lake water in front of them. After a long time, it was Shien who spoke first. Ailu, where is your hometown? Hometown. Uzumaki Ailu was startled when she heard the words, but was forced by Uzumaki Shien's question. Seeing that Ailu didn't answer, Shi Yan continued. I don't know if you know about the ninja war that happened some time ago. Our Naruto-sama single-handedly wiped out all the wars that Ninja Village launched against Konoha Village. And with an unstoppable forceful attitude, order the other party to make a choice within a limited time limit. Should I submit to the country of the vortex in the future, or continue to choose to fight against Lord Naruto? So, Azuki Shion is a little unclear about what she is talking about. The attitude she showed is obviously promoting the greatness of Uzumaki Naruto to Uzumaki Ailu. If the other party has no problem, please persuade them to enter Konoha village. If the other party is a spy sent by the enemy, then instigate her and persuade her to join Konoha village. For Azuki Shion, after spending a few days with Ailu, she doesn't want to see Ailu's ending be bleak. However, when it comes to Uzumaki Naruto's unification of the ninja world, Uzumaki Ailu immediately regained her spirits. Ask a little excitedly. I have also heard similar news outside. Moreover, I have seen that many forces have been rushing to Konoha village recently, as if it is a matter of discussion. However, do you think Uzumaki Naruto-sama is really good at doing this? I mean, will he succeed? Facing Uzumaki Ailu's question, Azuki Shion was immersed for a few seconds. She stared at the calm lake surface for a long time before slowly opening her mouth to say, with my level, I definitely can't understand Naruto-sama's thoughts. These things are discussed by the high level, I just do my essential work. But Uyue Shion changed the subject and looked deeply at Ailu. I don't know what happened to your hometown. Or have you ever experienced a war between ninjas? But I can't forget those people who died in front of me when Konoha village was destroyed. War is extremely terrifying. However, at this point, Shion's beautiful eyes began to shine. However, I believe that there will never be a so-called big war in the ninja world in the future. As long as there is Uzumaki Naruto-sama, Shimura Danzo, Ba. Shi Yan was really brainwashed by Hei Ming. The commercial street that was blown up in front of her was made by Hei Ming. Sarutobi Hiruzen. Hey, Danzo old man, it's pointless for you to care about these things now. According to your statement, even the Fourth Ninja World War was planned by Kuro Ming. Orochimaru. That's right, so what? This battle is nothing more than elevating Naruto-kun's identity to a higher position. Tsunade. Besides, I saw the group of daimyos from the small country who took the initiative to surrender, and when they left, they were all full of joy. It seems that they should have got what they wanted. Namikaze Minato. This kind of thing is quite easy to handle, as long as they can ensure that a few of them spend the rest of their lives in peace. They don't have to confront that child, and that child doesn't have too much hatred for this group of small country daimyos. It's not good if you do too much. When Azuki Shion mentioned Uzumaki Naruto, his face was full of hope and enthusiasm. Uzumaki Ailu pretends to worship. In your heart, Uzumaki Naruto-sama has a very high status. Of course, there is no so-called war between ninjas. In the future world, ninjas are also warriors who defend their country. Because of the overall unity of the ninja world, all ninjas are colleagues in a sense. In the future, Konoha village covers a very large area, and it is the only ninja school. All ninjutsu secrets, all knowledge about ninjas are collected in the Konoha village library. All those who want to become ninjas will be sent to Konoha village for learning. After graduation, ninjas will be assigned to work in various regions according to their personal wishes or special needs. Based on the different nature of the job, the salary is also slightly different. It's not just me. Mr. Naruto has the highest status in the hearts of any Konoha village villagers. He is the savior. Azuki Shion said with a smile. Uzumaki Ailu nodded understandingly. Then, you must like Master Naruto very much. As soon as this remark comes out, Azuki Shion's pretty face suddenly blushed, and she looked at Uzumaki Ailu in a panic. You can't talk nonsense. Your so-called liking is just everyone's attitude towards Naruto-sama, that's for sure. But you say that men and women like each other. This kind of thing is not something that can be said nonsense. I'm just Naruto-sama's bodyguard. The spread of this kind of thing will affect Naruto-sama's image in the eyes of other high-level officials. So that's how it is. Ailu muttered to herself. Mom today looks at the relationship between her and her father with this kind of mind. However, I watched Naruto-sama grow up. Shi Yan's proud speech immediately made Ailu. His eyes are wide open. You mean, I'm a few years older than Naruto-sama, but don't underestimate me just because I'm a woman. Shion smiled and said, I entered Anbu very early. Naruto-sama at that time. Azuki Yugo recalled to Uzumaki Ilu the time when she was ordered by 3rd Hokage to spy on Naruto. With the deepening of the memories, Shien's expression gradually changed from the proud one to dignified. In the past, Uzumaki Naruto was everyone's nine-tails demon fox. Lonely, he has never complained. Even if he is alone in the back mountain all the year round, he will not be defeated by the so-called loneliness. To this day, no one can believe that the ninja world will be changed by that once lonely boy. It's even more unbelievable. It's the existence of that young man that fills Konoha village with joy and laughter, and everyone is immersed in happiness. Master Naruto is extraordinary. No one in this world can bear the feeling of being alone. His greatness cannot be described in words. Ah. Uzumaki Naruto-sama still has such a past. It was the first time Ilu heard this version of the story. When she was a child, Uzumaki Naruto told her about the past tense, which was full of heroism. But I never thought that my father's childhood was so lonely. Even grandpa and grandma, all the elders that Ilu knew, when referring to Naruto's childhood, they all started as a genius boy. The story is almost full of how Uzumaki Naruto is popular with girls in the ninja school and how talented he is. There are also all kinds of outstanding performances after graduation. Father is such a powerful person. Uzumaki Ilu finished digesting Naruto's childhood past, and couldn't help sighing. What did you say? Because the other party's voice was too low, Azuki Shien couldn't hear clearly for a while, and the suspicious question suddenly awakened the great Uzumaki Ilu, who was intoxicated with Naruto. No. Nothing. Uzumaki Ilu was so nervous that she quickly apologized. I just think that a person like Master Naruto, who is still thinking about bringing happiness to others after being soaked in heavy rain, is indeed too great. Yeah. Shi Yan couldn't help nodding with a smile. So, I firmly believe that under Naruto-sama's rule, the future of the ninja world will only move towards happiness. Uzumaki Ilu very much agrees that in the future world, people's happiness index is quite high. Although incidents like the Fanado clan occasionally occur, there are very few Hair Lotus. And for this kind of behavior of bandits and robbers bullying villagers, the imperial regulations will definitely not forgive. As long as someone is willing to degenerate and bully the unarmed Uzumaki people with their strength, the only thing that greets them is death. This may be the reason why the eldest brother Boruto is afraid that his affairs will be known by Hinata's mother. According to Ilu's memory, the young master of Fanado was originally an aspiring young man full of ideals. Maybe the eldest brother Boruto regrets that such a person is forced to choose to degenerate, and wants to wake up the other party. However, with the temperamental character of Uzumaki Naruto, the ruler of the empire, there is no reason for the fall. Alright, it's time for us to go back. I don't know what's going on, so I told you so much, you must keep it a secret from me. Azuki Shien stands up. Ilu followed her up and helped her up. I definitely won't say it. Mother and daughter just want to leave. Suddenly, an inexplicable sense of oppression came from the top of their heads. Not good. Uzumaki Ilu raises her head instantly. Above the heads of the two, there is a man standing in the sky holding a fishing rod emitting red light. Oops. Uzumaki Ilu, I didn't expect to meet you when I just came to Konoha village. Tsunade. Otsutsuki Urashiki appeared. Terumi Mei. This guy exposed Ilu's identity as soon as he came out. Onoki. That's not the point. Let's guess who will lose, Urashiki, Kuromaki or his daughter. Black Zetsu. You really don't think of Otsutsuki Urashiki as a human being, although Koronaru's daughter has the power of blood succession and snare, you don't think that with their experience and age, they can really defeat Urashi. Style it. Uchiha Itachi. Why not, don't you forget. Uchiha Sasuke. Itachi, you have been silent for so long. Why are you active at this time? Shut up quickly. The arrival of Otsutsuki Urashiki did not surprise the audience. However, the problem they don't understand is that Uzumaki Ilu and Uzumaki Kansumi have lived in Konoha village for a few days, while Urashiki only came to Konoha village. Could it be that the other party went to other places in the ninja world to do something before coming to Konoha village? Namikaze Minato. Traveling through time and space, it is normal for deviations to occur during this process. Senju Tobarama. I remember that Ilu and Jin traveled to the ninja world in the past through a prop that looked like a turtle. Uchiha Madara. The three of them should travel together in the future time point, but as Namikaze Minato said, the slight deviation caused the timeline of the three to arrive at the ninja world in the past to deviate. Tsunade. That is to say, the time when Urashiki came to the ninja world happened to be when Yugo finished telling L about Naruto's past? Onoki. Judging from the content of the movie, it should be. Terumi Mei. I think Otsutsuki Urashi should have used time travel earlier than Ailu and Kansumi. After all, Uzumaki said that Uzumaki Boruto was going to come, but he was rejected by Kwoming. Came to the past instead of Boruto. Fourth Reikage. No matter who travels through time and space first, the final judgment must be based on the time they fall in history. In theory, time travel is indeed as stated in the discussion group. It's not that whoever travels will come to the past node of time in advance. For the shuttler, it is just a moment, but the timeline of the endpoint may not be when. Don't say that Pushi came a few days late, even a few years late is possible. The moment Otsutsuki Urashiki appeared, Uzumaki Naruto from the Konoha village Hokage office is startled. The powerful chakra on the opponent surprised him. But it is obvious that the powerful chakra that appeared this time is completely different from the previous two chakra. What happened deep in the back mountain? Just as Uzumaki Naruto got up and wanted to see what happened, the news from Shadow Clone surprised him even more. Uzumaki. Ailu? Shadow Clone has been hiding in the dark to observe Uzumaki Ailu's every move. Otsutsuki Urashi's address to her also failed to escape Shadow Clone's ears. At this moment, Uzumaki Naruto was dumbfounded. The man who appeared standing in the sky has a pair of white eyes, and the fair-skinned man is completely different from everyone in the ninja world. The skin on the forehead even has traces of horns. This kind of person, Uzumaki Naruto, can only be seen in the portrait of Otsutsuki Kaguya given by Sage of Six Paths. Impossible. Is it really the Otsutsuki clan attacking? Uzumaki Naruto didn't have time to think about it, and he didn't have time to think about why Ailu was called Uzumaki Ailu. He moved, and a shadow clone appeared in Hokage's office instantly. The body of Uzumaki Naruto has disappeared. Konoha village, Hyuga mansion, not good. Sumair, who was about to go shopping with Hyuga Hinata, suddenly felt a familiar atmosphere appearing in Konoha village. Has the Pushi, who hides his head and shows his tail, finally arrived? About Otsutsuki Urashiki, in the future period, ever since Momoshiki was killed by Naruto, this guy has been curled up like a turtle somewhere. The last time he showed up was to go to the Uzumaki Museum to steal the equipment that can travel through time and space. Fortunately, they were discovered by Uzumaki Kansumi and Uzumaki Boruto, and they followed Urashiki into the space-time shuttle space and regained the island. But Otsutsuki Urashi has disappeared in the space-time tunnel. Seeing that Boruto and Sumair-kun are going to travel together, Sumair-kun uses pupil art at this critical moment to stabilize the time. The two brothers and sisters did not travel with Uzumaki, and they informed Uzumaki Naruto of this as soon as they regained the alliance. However, Naruto seemed very indifferent, and simply issued an order to let Ailu follow Jin into the space-time tunnel to investigate Otsutsuki Urashiki, and kill him by the way. It turns out that this is what happened. The audience shouted loudly. Uzumaki's pupil technique actually directly broke the time tunnel that had formed? That's what Uzumaki Koronaru's daughter is capable of. This is too scary. Moreover, according to Sumair Kane's memories, Uzumaki Kuromaki, who is sitting on the throne, has a much more majestic expression than the current Kuromaki. Across the screen and the memories of Sumair Khan, the audience can feel the kingly aura emanating from Uzumaki Koronaru in the future just by seeing each other for a moment. It makes people want to kneel down and worship. This kind of temperament and momentum is definitely not comparable to that of 7th Hokage Uzumaki Beiming. Although the emergence of the comparison system is to compare the Uzumaki Naruto of the two worlds, the gap is unbelievable. The future of Himing world is not as simple as peace as they imagined. Tsunade. But are these two kids really capable of dealing with Otsutsuki Urashiki? I remember Urashiki also being able to cast Koizumi Hirasaka. Jiraiya. And Urashiki's Rinnegan power can also go back in time, and experience the development of future events before others and then return to the present, which is even more terrifying than Koronaru's time backtracking. Orochimaru. Huh. What's the problem? Do you really think that Naruto-kun who arrived at the scene will ask Sumair to erase his memory? Besides, What is Urashiki's time regression? He just knows the future in advance. The course of the incident in minutes, but for the current state, he can't go back to the past. Naruto-kun's time regression is the real time backward. Terumi Mei. So Uzumaki's intuition is correct, and the future Kuro Naruto has the memory of this experience, so Ai-Lu replaces Boruto to eliminate Otsutsuki Urashiki. Uzumaki Jien Hao after sensing the arrival of Otsutsuki. Without saying anything, he quickly rushed out of Hyuga's mansion and headed towards the mountain behind Konoha village. Violet. Hello. What happened to her? She ran out with bare feet again? Hyuga Hinata didn't stop Uzumaki Jien Zhang. After a low groan, Hinata's expression changed drastically. Not good. It looks like something happened. Thinking of this, Hyuga Hinata followed closely behind the figure of Jin Jin. By the way, when passing by the Hyuga training ground, I did not forget to call out Hyuga Neji. Brother Neji, go to Naruto and tell him that Sumair has escaped. Konoha village back mountain. Azuki Shion looked at Ai-Lu beside her with disbelief. Uzumaki Iru, Elu, you. Are you from the Uzumaki family like Naruto-sama? Azuki Shion suddenly felt like crying. She is very aware of Naruto's attitude towards the Uzumaki clan. Nowadays, Uzumaki Naruto usually handles matters related to the Uzumaki family in person. Ordinary people will suffer bad luck if they don't handle it well. Ai-Lu, are you really from the Uzumaki family? Facing Azuki Shion's anxiety, Uzumaki Ai-Lu also stared, with a look of helplessness on his face. Damn Pushi, don't call me by my full name, you have exposed my identity. This and that. Uzumaki Shion felt dizzy for a while because of Uzumaki's faltering appearance. The next second, Azuki Shion directly grabbed Ai-Lu's fragrant shoulders, and said softly, I haven't treated you badly these days. So, that. When Naruto-sama finds you, you must not talk nonsense. Shion wrinkled her nose and looked at Uzumaki Ai-Lu pitifully. If this child speaks ill of himself in front of Naruto, he will be in great trouble. Good, I know, don't worry. Uzumaki Ai-Lu feels bitter. You are my biological mother, what are you afraid of? Hey. It's too difficult to get along without knowing the identity of the relationship. However, the actions of the two made Otsutsuki Urashiki, who was standing in the air, look down. Little ants, dare to ignore the noble Otsutsuki clan. Simply unforgivable. With a little anger, Pushi sternly said, What the hell are you two ants, mother and daughter doing? Boom. Pushi's words directly stunned Azuki Shion. A few seconds later, her mind was blown away by the other party's words on the spot. You. What did you say? What mother and daughter? Who are mother and daughter? Urashiki. Don't talk nonsense here. Uzumaki Ai-Lu was also shocked. Pointing at Pushi and roaring. Seeing this, Pushi finally understood the reason. Then with a hint of sarcasm, she said with a smile, So you didn't tell your mother the fact that you were a future person. Worth mentioning. Anyway, you all have to die here today. By the way, there is also your bastard father Uzumaki Naruto. As a mortal ant, he shouldn't have such powerful power. I will refine the huge chakra in his body into a chakra elixir in this world. After killing Uzumaki Naruto, the future world will also undergo a big change. Of course, once Uzumaki Naruto dies, you and your bastard brothers and sisters will also disappear. What? Otsutsuki Urashiki's words completely knocked Azuki Shion's mind off. Uzumaki Iru in front of me. My mother is me, and my father is actually Uzumaki Naruto. She is actually a future person who came from the future to the present, the daughter of the future self and Uzumaki Naruto. Is this possible? Impossible. Uzumaki Ai-Lu's father is Uzumaki Naruto-sama, how could his mother be me? The man standing in the air with white eyes in front of him must be talking nonsense. To him. No, why does he have white eyes? Is he from the Hyuga clan? After getting the truth, Azuki Shion suddenly had a mess of thoughts in her mind. At this moment, she was so shocked that she didn't know what she was thinking. However, Uzumaki Naruto, who has been hiding in the corner, also widened his eyes after hearing Urashiki's words. Ai-Lu is actually the daughter of Azuki Shion and I? Even Nine Tails are dumbfounded. Naruto, isn't Azuki Shion the woman who watched you back then? I still remember you said that she was always on fire. The ninja who will work hard will definitely not find a boyfriend. Uzumaki Naruto. No matter how good I am, I can't count on the future. Uzumaki Naruto felt that his brain was not enough for the first time. Iluruo is really a person from the future. What about Jin? Kanjin is your daughter and Hinata's daughter. This can explain why she looks like the little girl from Hyuga's family. Nine Tails suddenly realized, and said with a bright face. However, at this moment, Ridu appeared beside Uzumaki Isle. Then, another beautiful figure also appeared. Exactly Uzumaki Jien Shi and Hyuga Hinata, Violet. Seeing her seventh sister appearing, the flustered Uzumaki Ailu became even more flustered. That bastard Pushi exposed my relationship with my mother. What to do? What to do now? Stupid. You admit it yourself. Uzumaki Jinjin heard Ailu's words, almost didn't raise her breath, and then fainted. At this time, not only did he not deny it flatly and then find a reason to get away with it. He actually admitted it on the spot, and it was still in front of the person involved. Even, Hyuga Hinata is following behind Jin. Jin almost cried because of Ailu's actions. What? Whose mother? Who is Ailu's mother? Hinata listened to the clouds coming and going, and the moment he looked up at Urashiki, Hinata was stunned. White eyes. Who are you? After meeting Hyuga Hinata, Otsutsuki Urashiki asked with great interest, Princess with white eyes? I remember that idiot Otsutsuki who wanted to get the white eyes that could evolve into Tensegan, offended you and was eliminated by Uzumaki Naruto. First Lady of the Empire. What qualifications do you group of boring ants have to show your identity? However, this time Otsutsuki Ura-style voice just finished. Uzumaki Ailu's figure has appeared in front of him. Don't be a mortal ant who bites one bite at a time. You were only running here because you were afraid of your father's power. Ailu's eyes are full of anger. The Urashi in front of her has been provoking her bottom line since just now. The moment the long knife slashed, Urashiki frowned, and the original white eyes instantly turned into a blue Rinnegan. The figure disappeared immediately, and reappeared. Otsutsuki Urashiki had come behind Uzumaki Ailu. Ailu seems to have expected it. Facing the red chakra fishhook swung by Urashiki, Ailu stands behind her back with the long knife in her hand. But in the next second, Otsutsuki Urashiki's figure disappeared again, but appeared in front of Ailu. What? The moment Uzumaki Ailu was surprised, Urashiki's kick had struck. Kicks Ailu heavily to the ground. Elu. Seeing Ailu fall heavily to the ground, Shi Yan couldn't help but twitch her heart suddenly. Hurry up and help Ailu up. It's okay, this kick is nothing to me. Ailu saw the worried Shian and quickly explained. But Uzumaki, who was standing beside them, kept staring at Otsutsuki Urashiki. Then, the corners of Jin's mouth curled up. Third sister, that guy's Rinnegan seems to be able to see through your movements. And in the process of you fighting with him, I can sense the subtle fluctuations in the surrounding time. Presumably he observed what could happen in the future in advance, and then made other choices. Impossible. Did Uzumaki see through Otsutsuki's space-time pupil technique at a glance? The audience in Beiming World were stunned. The opponent is the Otsutsuki clan. 2-year-old Boruto looks very cheap in his hands. However, it was even more embarrassing for Uzumaki's daughter to see through the pupil technique at a glance. Black Zetsu. Ah. Otsutsuki Kaguya. Uchiha Madara. I don't know what to say. At least Black Sing's daughter is a bit outrageous. Otsutsuki Kaguya. Do you have the kind of ninjutsu that can eat people in the ninja world? It is to eat people and then get all the abilities and chakra of the other party. Yamanaka Ino. It seems that there is. I remember Beiming's future world. The guy who kidnaps the son of the Fire Country daimyo can eat people, but he can only know the memory of the other party. Uzumaki Kushina. Don't think about it, that child is not as scary as you think. Based on available intelligence. The audience in the world of White Name has a general understanding of the specific situation of the attack of the Otsutsuki clan in the world of Black Name. Otsutsuki Urashiki was unable to defeat the future Kuromaki, so in desperation he fled to the past to take away Kuromaki's power. Moreover, Kuromaki confidently let Uzumaki Kansumi and Uzumaki Ailu come to face Uzumaki. It can be seen that in this battle, Uzumaki's winning rate is almost zero due to the barrel technique. Uchiha Madara. I wonder why the Otsutsuki clan has such a big gap in strength. Senju Tobirama. Momoshiki at least fought back and forth with Naruto, but Urashiki lost to the teenagers Naruto and Boruto, and he didn't even engrave the wedge of resurrection to each other. Instead, Otsutsuki beat Naruto and Sasuke. The level of combat power between them is uneven. Onoki. I heard from that Amador that Otsutsuki Kaguya is like a golden type, and belongs to Otsutsuki Ashiki's servant, but she was able to successfully attack Ashiki before taking the fruit of the sacred tree. At what level? Otsutsuki Kaguya. To be honest, I don't know why Bai Ming and Sasuke were beaten so badly by Otsutsuki. Black Zetsu. Mother, just look at Bai Ming Mirai's tired appearance, and Uchiha Sasuke who never has enough chakra. How do you want to deal with the two of them in this state? Deidara. Well, and Uchiha Sasuke advanced to Taijutsu Ninja in the later stage, and he was almost awarded a golden belt. Uchiha Sasuke. Humph. Is it the nerve to comment on a mere loser? The combat power of the Otsutsuki clan is indeed a mystery. But in the eyes of everyone, the Otsutsuki Ura-style attack that happened in the Black Naruto world at this time, maybe he will fall into the hands of Ailu and Jin Jin. Uzumaki Naruto, who was hiding behind a tree, was so excited that his heart was pounding. He just heard about Jin Jin's ability to analyze Pushi. Although it is not clear whether the other party's analysis is correct or not, Naruto felt proud from his heart. Kurama. Did you hear Sumayor's confident remarks just now? She instantly analyzed the enemy's Rinnegan pupil technique. Awesome, as expected of my daughter. Forehead. Nine Tails is stunned. Both eyes are staring at Uzumaki Naruto in front of him. This is the first time a fox has seen Uzumaki Naruto so excited. Naruto, are you overexcited? We're still not sure if Uzumaki's analysis is correct. I thought so, but Nine Tails didn't say what was in my heart. On the contrary, following Naruto's words, Kansumi, this girl is really good. Of course, she is my daughter after all. Hiss. The audience in Beiming World then saw numbness. Is this still the Uzumaki who is full of intrigues and tricks, with a smile on his mouth, and his life and death are unpredictable? Looking at the other party's happy appearance, it's almost like a child. However, anyone can understand the mood of Uzumaki Kuromaki today. Uzumaki Yanjin and Uzumaki Ailu are his biological daughters and his real family. Hei Ming, as a father, must feel ecstatic to see the child's future. Tsunade. Tisk. I didn't expect Uzumaki to be so excited because his child is good. Jiraiya. Well, it seems happier than him unifying the ninja world. Uchiha Fugaku. Of course, as parents, facing the excellence of their children, they will naturally feel happy and proud. Namikaze Minato. Hey, the child's mood at this moment is the same as when I first met him. Naruto, don't you go up and help. Nine Tails looks at Uzumaki Naruto who is staring intently. However, Naruto shook his head. Let the children handle this kind of thing by themselves. Since Jin Jin laughed just now, I think they can handle it properly. Otherwise, where did Uzumaki get her confidence? What's more, how can my daughter be defeated by Otsutsuki? This. Nine Tails has a troubled expression. No matter how bad the opponent is, he is a member of the Otsutsuki clan. How could Uzumaki Naruto be so relieved to hand over everything to the two children? But when Nine Tails remembered the Rinnegan that Uzumaki Naruto had opened long ago, he released it instantly. HMPH. I thought you were so sure. Nine Tails pursed her lips and scorned Naruto in her heart. Nohara Rin. Is Hemming's behavior too self-confident? What if Sumayor and Isle can't beat Urashiki? And there are Shion and Hinata on the court. Hitaki Kakashi. Don't worry, Lin Himing has activated Rinnegan. I don't think he will simply just to observe this battle. Uchiha Obito. Kakashi, you mean? Tsunade. Well, I thought he was so confident. Kuromaki must have set a time-reversing spell on the four of them. As long as there is anything wrong with the four of them, Uzumaki Kuromaki, it is completely possible to restore the four to a favorable state. Terumi Mei. Isn't this equivalent to secretly helping his daughter cheat? Haiwu. Onoki. How can it be called cheating to deal with the Otsutsuki clan? This is a father's secret protection of his children. Fourth Raikage. Under the 100% guarantee of the child's safety, let him fight with Otsutsuki Ura style, and enhance the children's combat experience. I have to say that Kuro Naruto is a very competent father. Roar? You actually saw through my pupil technique, Uzumaki Jien. Otsutsuki frowned slightly. But soon, he showed a mocking smile. How can I do it? Even if you didn't tell your sister, I will tell you. Under my pupil power, I have experienced all of you actions more than 10 times ahead of you. As for your next move, I can easily handle it. And Pu Shi sneered. A useless guy who can only use knives, and a younger sister who only focuses on sealing and enchantment. You two sisters don't really think that you can fight with me. Who do you think I am? Feeling Naruto's contempt for him in the future, Urashiki's attitude reversed sharply. He was furious, the red light fish on his waist suddenly flickered. The next second, several red lights sprayed out from the fish basket. Turns into a raging flame. Jin, hurry up and set up a barrier to protect your mother. Third sister, you. Don't worry about me, I'll deal with Pu Shi. Boom. The two sisters just finished speaking. The jet of flame instantly engulfed the four of them. The strong impact even blasted a deep hole around it. Naruto. Nine Tails is startled. However, Uzumaki Naruto in front of him remained calm and said, "It's okay, because of the llama. They have no problem." Nine Tails heard the words, and turned his attention to the battlefield again. The smoke dissipates. Four figures slowly float in Pushiki's sight. At this time, under Uzumaki's ability, an energy barrier visible to the naked eye enveloped Jin, Xian and Hinata. And outside the barrier, there is a person in red armor standing in front of the barrier. This person has red twin ponytails, holds a long sword, and exudes steaming heat all over his body. Why are you? Azuki Shion doesn't understand why Uzumaki Ailu didn't choose to enter Viola's protective barrier. Also, the other party's sudden transformation also surprised Shion. Not only Azuki Shion, but even Jin is full of surprise. Who are you? Third sister. Well, who else could it be if it wasn't me? Uzumaki Ailu turned around and smiled at the three of them. Third sister, your eyes, Rinnegan. Could this be your pupil technique? Uzumaki Kansumi's shocked eyes trembled slightly. This is the first time she has seen her elder sister perform pupil art, but she feels something different. That. As if seeing through Jin's thoughts, Ailu rubbed the back of her head in embarrassment. My pupil technique is able to concretize chakra into a utensil. It's really weird. You can't laugh, Sumair, and you can't tell anyone. Reification of chakra as an instrument. This ability seems to be a bit hip. The audience in Beiming World was a little speechless. Like Rinnegan's pupil technique, it can not only manipulate space, but also time. It is also possible to move across space instantly during battle. Leaving aside the fact that Otsutsuki's Dao style and Ura style's Rinnegan can absorb chakra's multiplied counterattack, or predict the future. In terms of Uchiha Madara's round tombside prison, there is no extremely powerful pupil art that cannot be seen through. These are all good abilities, but the ability of Uzumaki Ailu. Uchiha Madara. Is it because her mother taught her swordsmanship from a young age? Senju Tobarama. It should be. As a ninja, Azuki Shion's main means of attack is Konoha Ryu's swordsmanship. Rather than saying that she is a ninja, it is more appropriate to say that she is a samurai similar to the Iron Kingdom. Terumi Mei. Soalu's pupil technique can be used to concretize chakra into weapons and armor. This ability is really not strong. Uchiha Madara. No, the strength of the pupil technique is not judged by ability, it mainly depends on how much pupil power the caster can exert. Uzumaki Naruto. I feel that L can win. Aren't Otsutsuki Momoshiki, Ichishiki, and Urashiki all able to increase their strength through transformation? Since L can also transform, she will definitely become stronger. Elu, you. Are you okay? Knowing that Ailu is her biological daughter, Azuki Shion didn't have any other thoughts because the other party opened Rinnegan. Facing Otsutsuki Urashiki, only Ailu took the opponent hard. At this moment, Shi Yan only worries about the child. It's okay, mother. Uzumaki Ailu didn't hide her identity anymore, since everything has been exposed, let's get to know each other for the time being. Wait until the battle is over, and then ask Sumair to erase Shion and Hinata's memories. Now I hope that my battle with Otsutsuki Urashi will not attract more people's attention, especially my father Uzumaki Naruto. This equipment of mine can absorb any fire attribute attack. Because as my father taught us, although Rinnegan can absorb ninjutsu, it is not absolute. Like the fire, thunder and lightning storms in nature that are not born by chakra, our Rinnegan is ineffective. So, my equipment was born specifically to make up for my weakness to flames. Uzumaki Ailu Zhao Xian cast a reassuring smile, then turned to look at Urashiki in the air. The battle must be settled quickly. Otsutsuki Urashiki frowned after hearing L's explanation. I didn't expect the other party to be able to have such an operation. For a while, Otsutsuki Urashiki felt a little upset. To deal with them who have Rinnegan, the ninjutsu accumulated in the red fish basket must be ineffective. Pu Shi subconsciously touched the fish basket on his waist. The complexion becomes even uglier. Cut. It's just wearing a device that can resist fire damage. I thought you were capable of something. Sure enough, he's just an idiot who only knows how to use knives. No. Except for flames, lightning storms and dust, I have corresponding utensils and decorations. Ailu's face was slightly rosy. After all, in her heart, this kind of ability is not on the table. Pu Shi's eyes sink, and he is speechless by Ailu's natural dullness. In his view, the other party is looking down on him from the bottom of his heart. Snort. The chop suey is the chop suey. Sure enough, the power belonging to our Otsutsuki clan falls into the hands of you ants and mortals. What a waste. However, Uzumaki's eyes flashed with excitement at Uzumaki's words. His words once again touched Ailu's bottom line. Ailu doesn't want to have too much nonsense with Pu Shi anymore. Suddenly a red light appeared on her body, and the next moment, she changed into a white and blue dew. The long sword in his hand turned into a sharp spear. Like lightly with the spear, Uzumaki Ailu's figure disappeared immediately. Otsutsuki Urashiki saw this, his eyes moved slightly, and then he smiled contemptuously. Poke me directly with a gun? Do you really think this kind of trick can work for me? Pu Shi looks contemptuous, but the next moment, his face suddenly became horrified. Uzumaki Ailu's spear was aimed at him at some point. Impossible, this is. Pu Shi's brain suddenly short-circuited. At the same time as Ailu swung her spear, an invisible force made Pu Shi's body extremely heavy. And, another strong impact made Pu Shi feel the terrifying power contained in it. Boom. In the blink of an eye, Otsutsuki Urashiki was knocked down by Uzumaki Ailu. Wow, Otsutsuki Urashiki fell to the ground hard and couldn't help vomiting blood. Impossible. What kind of power is this? Urashiki looked at Uzumaki Ailu, who stared at him coldly in the air in surprise. What did you use? You can actually ignore my pupil technique. It's nothing, it's just faster than you. At this time, Ailu said, it's like a different person. Without the natural dullness before, the words are full of coldness. With this equipment, I can speed up my action speed. Even if you have already seen through my actions, physical actions may not be able to respond faster. Of course you should ask yourself, what did you see? What did you see? Otsutsuki Urashiki was asked about enlightenment by Uzumaki Ailu. He saw the other party poking himself with a gun. No. The opponent's trick to defeat him is the strange power emanating from the spear. Didn't see clearly. Could it be that? Impossible. Is that guy's speed faster than time in an instant? Is this really the third sister? Uzumaki Kansumi is dumbfounded. Use. Have you surpassed time? For Sumair, who possesses the power of a witch in the kingdom of ghosts, this method of transcending time is nothing unusual. What surprised her was Uzumaki Eiru's expression. That kind of cold appearance is in stark contrast to the fact that the third sister is always in a daze. Otsutsuki Ura style, the trick just now was an air cannon formed by an attack that combines gravity and speed of sound. This is the result of my practice in the gravity space with my father all the year round. You have humiliated your parents, ants and mortals over and over again. Today, you must die.